Good evening, everybody, and thank you for tuning in tonight for the Ben Herrera Show, live here on Facebook Live, here with our Black River Studios. And we got Starlito, who's off camera for tonight. But we also have a great guest, an awesome guest, a friend, great friend of ours. Here he is. We got George Salazar. Hello, George. How you doing tonight?
Hey, doing pretty good. A little woozy, but hey, I'm here.
You're here. Yeah, that's what matters. So go ahead and give us a little update, whatever you want to talk about today. A little bit of update, what you've been up to.
Well, before you
Anything
do,
that you want to talk about.
before you do, so a lot of people have been concerned. Where has George been?
Mhm.
What has George been up to? And I've got since we've been in this studio, I've gotten 3 phone calls of where has George been?
Mhm.
How's he doing? I heard such and such.
Yeah.
And you know how people that entre mentiras, or they they don't know the whole fact, but yet they like to
Talk.
put something in there that shouldn't be in there.
Right. That, yeah.
So when I got this last phone call, it kind of really did concern me because it's like, well, if he's calling me, and then you told me today that he called you, and I'm just like, well, I can see what I can do. That's why I contacted you at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was just like, hey, I need, add a concern for brother to brother. I mean, we've been played in Grupo Sierra for about a year or two. And so the concern there, I was just like, wait a minute, hold up. I know that C word has been going through this Black River Studios lately.
Mhm.
So being in the midst of that kind of concerned me. So I'm just like, wait, I got to check on my brother.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm like, well, this is what I heard. And I want to go to the horse's mouth instead of asking everybody else and going 10 people
Go
before I
directly
get
to
you.
you. Yeah.
Right.
So I went straight to you. So what can you tell your fans of why have you been gone, or why has George been faded out for a minute? What happened?
March 7th at about 11:30 midnight or midnight around there. Um, I started feeling very cold. I felt like a cold sweat.
Mm.
Didn't know what it was. The last thing I ate was what my wife made, so I figured, it's probably got food poisoning or something. Didn't think nothing of it. I got up and I was I felt like I was drunk. Everything, the whole room was spinning like crazy,
Oh, wow.
and I felt so nauseated. So I just dragged myself, stumbling against the walls, to the bathroom upstairs, and I got to the bathroom and I just kneeled down there, and I just, usually what we do when we want to throw up is you finger your mouth.
Yeah.
Let's throw up. So
Mhm.
I was doing that and nothing. And I was like, what is going on? So I staggered back to the bedroom and I just laid down and said, man, I'll sleep this off. I'll wake up Saturday morning. I'll be okay. I had plans on going out that Saturday to a show.
Okay.
And I had to cancel that. Woke up, I couldn't swallow. My whole right side was dragging. My eye, it was drooping, yeah. And I was just like, go to the mirror and I go, I was tripping. I threw up green. I was throwing up like,
Oh, wow.
like no tomorrow, And I was just like, what is this? What is it? The food? I thought. But when I felt like I couldn't swallow and not even be able to, like, how we like ourselves up,
Like gagging or something. Yeah.
I yelled out and I told my wife, hey, no, I told my daughter, hey, tell your mom I need to go to the hospital right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but my wife periodically was telling me, hey, something's wrong. Do you want to go to the doctor? I said, no, it's nothing. I was stubborn.
Right.
That Mexican pride.
Yeah, I was just like,
He's going to tell me I got this.
Right, I'm okay. I'm fine. Don't worry. I feel woozy. I feel like I feel dizzy. I don't know why.
I've been drunk worse than this.
Yeah, exactly. I staggered all the way down the steps and got into the car, and it was a mild stroke. It was a stroke. They said, you know what? You're lucky you came in when you did because it could have been worse if you would have just let it go. And us Hispanics or any race, they don't know the difference. Some know the difference between a heart attack, and some know the difference between the heart attack and the stroke.
Right. Exactly.
A stroke is totally different.
It is.
Mine. It affected the pons, the main area. And the doctor was saying, well, only 7% of yada yada, get this. Well, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to be that
Right.
7%.
That's 7%. Right.
So I was admitted to the hospital. They shot me up with everything every 2 hours. The nurses would come in. I was there for 2 days. I went in on Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Been there.
And the scary part was when the doctor said, do we have permission to resuscitate you if we lose you? And my wife looked at me and I looked at her and I was like,
what?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on a
It
minute.
was a mild stroke.
Well, see, that's the confusing part of it all,
Right.
is that I was told it was a mild stroke after I got out.
Oh.
During in the emergency room, the doctor just looked at me and said, I don't know if this guy is going to either, pass out on me, and do we resuscitate him or do we not? And
Right.
the first thing I said, but am I? First thing I said was, I'm a donor. I told my wife, where's my driver's license? I was out of it, though. I was literally out of it. I'm a donor. Whatever you need, take. I'm thinking to myself, I want to help out whoever needs it,
Yeah.
And still to this day, I don't care what anybody says. I'm a donor, and I want to be able to save somebody else's life if mine is already done.
Yes.
Right.
For me, I don't care. I told my wife.
Some people
"Se
they
me
let
lleva la chingada,
Right.
me vale." You know what? So
Let your legacy live on.
Exactly.
So our viewers are Gisela Falcon is on, Javier Valdez is on, Alejandro Silva is on, and he said that jacket, but it is a shirt.
It's a shirt.
Oh, it's a jacket.
And John Ortiz said, "Good to hear you."
John
Good to hear you,
Ortiz, keyboard player.
Yep.
8-9 years. I've been with that young man, the most talented keyboard musician I.
Oh yes, I agree.
With.
I agree.
Really honestly, and I have not. I was told by my brother-in-law Tommy Torres, that is works at Heinz.
Okay.
And John, he's still at Heinz.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, John.
He lets us know.
They
John,
communicate.
he gets up at 2:00 in the morning. Time for rise and shine. Time to go to work.
Yep.
Hey, Brian.
Yep.
Yep.
He's
So-
amazing.
Brian Martinez?
Boy.
Welcome, Brian Martinez.
Hey,
Brian
Brian
Martinez,
Martinez.
Is
He's online.
is one of
He's
the
watching.
keyboard players from Sierra that I grew to love his style when we were with Sierra.
Yes.
And that was the first band I had ever encountered when I moved to Holland, because that was nothing but like tapes, tracks, Laup, Latin American United Progress, get up there. And as a matter of fact, me and Brian actually did some songs there at Latin American United
Yes.
Progress
Mhm.
for the girls. So he got up there with his keyboard and I just got the mic and we just, boom, that's
That's
it.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
cool.
I remember. Yeah, Brian is very talented.
We got
Oh,
Jake.
Very talented because he started playing the accordion
Mhm.
and then he started with the keyboard. And I remember going to practice and I go early because I like to show up early. And
Right.
I go early and he was already in the middle of class of learning how to play a keyboard. And it wasn't just learning; it was practicing the chords and everything else. And
Oh, I remember when Veronica Castorena, when I sang at
oh yeah,
Quinceañera,
I forgot she was the singer too.
her daughter, Veronica isn't, it's Crystal.
Crystal,
But
Crystal.
Veronica,
Right.
Veronica, one of Mr. Castorena's daughters passed away, and this is a total true story. We were in Brian's parents' basement where we had rehearsals,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, "Hey, can you write a song, or can you, get a song for us?" Real quick, I told Brian, put something together, melody, and I'll come up with lyrics. Wrote a song within minutes, and we went over there to some radio station, and I sang it and everything, and it was in memory of the young girl that
Gabby,
passed
right?
away.
Gabby.
I don't know
Gabby,
the name.
Gabby,
I don't
Gabby.
That
remember.
sounds familiar. I can't remember her name either.
But I know that Veronica would know.
Yeah, who it was.
Jacob Castorena said, "Yo, one of the
One of
best
the best.
Latino performers in the house."
Thank you so
And
much.
all of us have
Appreciate
already
it.
have said that. I mean, you are one of the greatest here.
Ah.
You opened a door here. I mean,
Yes, you are.
along
Stop.
so along with the Mighty Lowriders and Carisma and all them, but you opened this the single artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, of
Yeah.
Latinos, and everybody was like, "Well, if George can do it, I can do it too." And then there's where they started following.
Nick said, "Rest in peace, cousin Lisa."
So is Lisa. Because I know that I wrote a song real
Oh,
quick, and
okay.
it
I don't
was
know who
with
that
Brian,
was.
and it was Mr. Castorena's one of Mr. Casorena's daughters that died passed away of cancer.
Oh,
Was
okay.
cancer.
All right.
Maybe Nick knows. Oh, he's a Soran.
Serrano too,
Serrano,
you know,
yeah.
Serrano also as well. You know, they're my neighbors.
Oh, okay.
19th Street,
Oh,
amazing. Love it
Mhm.
when they walk their dogs. They come, and he's very supportive. Him and his wife, they bought the first album, Llegaste a mi vida,
okay, yeah.
and then they purchased
No,
the
one you recorded with
Chente Barrera,
Cinta Barrera and the ones in Lansing.
Gilbert Velasquez. No,
No.
the Aldaco, Daniel Aldaco was Amor Joven. His
yes,
brother.
yes.
His brother that had passed away, Ernie Aldaco,
Right.
had a couple of songs. As a matter of fact, his wife, which is a widow, she has some songs that she still has that she has not released to anyone. But that Amor Joven song, I'm glad you mentioned that because Daniel Aldaco, you know, it's probably not on the air or not I mean, not.
I haven't seen him lately.
Well, ever since the fallout with the JR Midwest All Stars or whatever, I don't know anything of that. I just know that they're no longer together, but I know that they're doing something. I know he's with Tejano Sound, and then he's over here, but that man is wow.
Yeah, there's something in the mix. There's something in the air that they're doing. So. He's all I can say.
He's amazing. He's amazing, and you know, I do miss recording with him because he brings out something that other producers don't bring out. You know, he's a perfectionist, and he continues to keep driving that force of perfection.
Yeah.
And if he hears something, no, it's off. You know, he's not afraid to say it. Other producers are just like, hey, I just want your money. You're going to sound the way you want to sound.
Right.
I'll just.
You know, that sounds very familiar because that's what we do here. It's not about your money. It's about the product.
Yeah,
exactly.
we want you to sound great.
We want great product.
Exactly.
So that's what we do here.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So
But that Amor Joven, Ernie, he had that song on the shelf for 10 years, he said.
Wow.
And he did not find the right artist for it. He had other artists that I know of, but I won't mention their names because out of respect, you know, I don't want to be, hey, well, this guy, and he didn't, you know.
Yeah.
I went in there and you know how you guys, when you guys you record, you have the lines and you have the lines on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had his brother's original, and then when I came in and did it, they were almost identical.
Almost in sync.
Okay. And so we had to stop a couple of times, and he just
broke down.
He broke down, yeah. Prefiero Amor came next.
Yes.
And then after that, we were like, hey, we need a Christmas song. So he picked up Miss You Most at Christmas Time from Mariah Carey. Can you imagine the look on my face? Was like, what? I'm not doing a girl song. And he's like, you're going to do it. It's a good song. And this is how we're going to do it. And I'm like, how are we going to do this? Bilingual. We're going to do Spanish and English. And if you've never heard it, it's Miss You Most at Christmas Time by George Salazar. And you're going to be like, what the hell? You know, because I said, what the hell? You know, the English part I thought was going to be the easiest, was the hardest for me to do. And the Spanish, it came so natural. And he was like, dude, we didn't even do too many takes on that one.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then, well, how I got to Daniel Aldaco was when I left Carisma Band June 8th. On a Tuesday. I just said, you know what, I can't do this no more. I want to pursue a solo career. I want to be able to go out and venture into recording what I want.
Right.
And I was trying to pursue something where, and this was in the middle of recording Carisma Band, you know, the CD. But Willie Guillermo Martinez, may he rest in peace. Yes, he passed away, and that was it. It was like, okay, you know, I need to move on. I need to do something. I wanted originals.
Right.
I wanted the originals. I wanted to purchase original songs, which thank you, Jesse Verrial, because he was the one who sold me songs 100% straight out copyright. So I own the song. I'm the writer of the song, which I'm really not the writer of the song. Let's get this straight. But they're my song.
Right.
So
Which means you can perform them whenever you play,
Yes.
whenever you want.
I could, anybody, if anybody wants to sing Que Dolor or Llegaste a mi vida, any of the songs that I recorded off my first album, they are so more than welcome to be able to do that.
That's good.
Toodles, kudos, and shout outs straight up to Javier Guerrero.
Mhm.
He is the one who, when he brought me back to Carisma Band,
Mhm.
it was, he told me that.
Javier.
Huh?
Javier's on
He's
there.
actually watching. Right now.
Yeah, he's
Um,
like, "Yo, George."
Angel
let's do
actually
it
said
again.
something.
Blessings to have. He's gone through so much.
Mhm.
He'll always be a brother from another mother. To
Mhm.
be honest, he'll always, even we have that love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
We have that.
That's what
Who
we do.
doesn't?
Yeah.
You know.
I
And
think we
to
all
all
do
the
that.
Charisma Band members that I've ever performed with,
Great
always been.
artist.
Yes.
Everyone has years behind their head, and that's what brings out the talent, is knowing that a lot of people don't see the struggles and everything else. People
Well,
Right.
But-
Exactly.
here's one thing.
we watched the video yesterday, and it just you guys just clicked, and it was just like, it brought power, it brought unity, it brought
Okay.
just
Yeah. So we
happiness.
remember the video that we did at the Commons Park a couple years back. Well, it was.
It was Con's part. It was
That
No,
was
no,
the
I-
last public
Yeah,
performance at
that's
Charisma
exactly-
Band.
Yep,
When he
exactly.
announced that, I was shocked. I was
Yeah.
like, just came back. Okay, now we're done. Oh my God. You know, so
Right.
it was, but I didn't know that there was a lot of complications and a lot of things that I was going through
Yep.
that he kept private.
Yep.
He's a
Mhm.
private man. He's
Very.
not very open.
Yeah, no.
Right.
He's real hard.
That was mi primo. I know.
Yeah.
We're related.
Okay. So
we know.
but one thing I want to say about Jav is he is a perfectionist as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's a stickler and a perfectionist, and he's a businessman.
Yes.
Right.
He's more of a businessman and a manager, and he's always said it. You know, I don't want to manage. You know, that's a lot of work, but
It
you know what? I
Right.
got to do it. This is my stuff, and
Mhm.
the investments that he has put in, the money he put in towards Carisma Band, the first album, you know, he paid a lot of money.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, and on the second one where it featured myself, he put up a lot of money also as well, just to throw my vocals back in there. You know, so matter of fact, I do have some CDs, you know, that I still have that I'm going to be selling here soon.
Do
I haven't
people go to your
advertised
page
them.
and
Yeah, I haven't posted it out there.
Okay.
I
Okay.
have sold some. I do have like 29 left of those, and they're only $10, and it's a recording of great original songs that Willie Guillermo wrote, that Michael Martinez, you know, dad or himself wrote.
wow. Okay.
Chiquita was written by all of the band members. You know, we all got together and
Chiquita
we
was a
just,
good song.
yeah,
That was
that was
a great
we
song.
just like, hey this, hey that, hey, and Steve Ortiz would come chime in. How about this? And then Michael Martinez, how about this? But the one who polished it up
Yeah.
was Guillermo. Guillermo, he was the one that, because John Ortiz just came in and says, hey, I got this melody and I still have this melody, and all it takes is a melody. All it takes is a little bit of some instrumental,
Just get started.
and then boom, then the drums come in, then the bass comes in, then the guitar comes in,
It took a spark.
and here comes sax, you know, Hav with his glove and those lights.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, that brings me to the VFW. I want to thank the VFW for always entrusting Carisma Band to come in and be able to perform and sell out liquor. The dance floor was full,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yep.
I would have Vern and the
Which
other
is
one
that
come
picture
in.
behind you.
Oh yeah,
That's
you're
from
right.
Yeah.
That is.
Mhm.
You know,
I
that
got you
was the
guys, man.
last time I think we performed with Willie, and that was Valentine's.
That was Valentine's.
We're red.
Yeah.
And I
think
was
it
always
was.
different.
That place was packed to the
Yes.
man. It was packed to the board.
I think here soon, in the works for the future. I'm thinking I want to come back. But with just a band. You know, I want to hire some musicians, some great musicians, and have them come and just play, and just me go out there and just do my thing. I haven't done that in such a long time. The last time was that one time when we were at Grand Rapids.
Fox
where
Theater.
I did a little bit of
Fox Theater.
songs.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Hombre.
Do you
yeah.
remember that?
Oh,
I walked up to you and I said, we were looking for George Lopez.
yeah. It was great.
I kept
You
saying it.
cannot say it right. The good. You can't say a name correctly. Can
I
you?
can't. But no, but I was
For the life of him,
That's Ben.
he cannot
Ben's
get
always
his
been the
last name
same.
correct.
Yeah.
Angel Guerrero said, "Georgie, I'm so glad to see you in better health. Blessings, my friend."
Aw, she's a sweetheart. Her mom was my favorite. She every time I would get up there, she would be at the stage or she would be dancing and she would grab me and tell me, Mijo, you're like no other and this and that, and I'd be just as gullible as I am. And to be honest with you, I've always been like, yeah, whatever, no, and you know what?
Pretty hard on yourself.
Yes, I am. But the funny thing is that I would like sing,
Mhm.
and then as soon as I was done, I would go home. I didn't want to mingle. I didn't want to be with nobody. I just wanted to go home because I didn't know if people either liked it or people didn't like it.
Well, how are you going to know? If
I
you're not
was just going to say
Exactly.
that.
That's what my wife said. Babe, you can't keep doing that. You gotta stick around. You gotta say hi to the people. You gotta. I'm like, I know, but
So, were you thinking you weren't good enough or what?
I mean, everybody in the
You
club,
can't be like that.
everybody in the venue or whatever, they're like, "Where did he go? This dude sounds so badass. Where did he go?"
Right.
Well, I would see. I had a complex with back in school. Like, hey, I would do my thing and everything, and then just get out.
Yeah.
And then the next day,
So whatever you don't know is always good news to you.
it's better than me. It would be like, okay, what are the reviews?
Right.
Where's the newspaper? What did they
Yeah.
say? Is it a 3-star, a 2-star, a 4-star, a 5-star?
Yeah.
But yeah, like Charisma Band, when we were at the freaking casino the first time,
Yeah.
I was so packed all the way to the slots. You couldn't even. It was wow. It was amazing. And we came back the next time again. So I just want to talk about a little bit about Charisma Band because Sierra, that's where it started.
I even told you, man, you got something going, bro. You need to get out there.
Mhm.
And then Charisma Band gave me a shot, and then they had La Nueva Charisma. And then
Yeah,
Willie,
right.
then Willie, something happened to Willie at Palsy or
Cerebral palsy.
that.
Mm.
And then that's when Hav called me up and said, "Hey, George, hey, do you think you want to be an alternate, a substitute, or like just come in and fill in?" I said, "Sure, why not? Hey, I ain't got nothing to lose. Keep me going."
Yeah. Before we continue,
Yeah.
Let's hit our sponsors real quick.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back.
Oop, wrong camera. All right.
And
so
we are
we
back
got
with
George
Salazar.
Salazar.
Cherokee Bear says Buenos Nachos. Linda Love is online. Steve Kingpin Segovia is on. So let's continue what we started. So
Yeah.
you want to talk a little bit more about
Well,
Guillermo and
Yeah,
Charisma.
after got it. Guillermo was always that one guy. There's this song on that album, and it's Volver a Amar.
Oh,
And he wrote that song, but it's called the melody came from Christian from Supernova or
Christian from
Christian, right?
Yep,
Christian, that's his name.
Christian.
So
Supernova.
he
Supernova.
Willie emailed me and said, "Hey George, what do you think about it?" I've got so many emails from him. I got a lot of songs from him, but I don't have rights to touch those songs. I still have them, but out of respect, I don't even act like I have them. But that was one of the songs, Volver a Amar. He sent it to me and says, "George, I want you to take this song and make it your own." And Volver a Amar, if you've ever heard it, is
we
a
heard it.
song that is so powerful, what Michael Martinez did with the guitar, the solo, the rip that he did as well. Great musician. Shout out to Michael Martinez.
Yes, he's
Michael's
good.
Michael. Michael is
Michael, I still
still
have his
crazy. As
guitar
ever.
pick over there behind the TV.
And he's like no other.
Yes.
He
He was a hype man.
he's still a hype
He's
man
still a
from
hype
what
man.
I see.
Yeah.
He's still the crazy one.
Yeah.
The kid inside of him has never left. You could age and age and age and age, and Michael's still gonna be the same.
Yep.
To me, that's what I see.
Well, that's
And has no filter.
I would go with
No
that.
filter at all whatsoever. And that could be a good thing and that could be a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, if you blend that in, he's a very smart individual, man, when it comes to music. He came to my house just himself with a guitar, and we went into my office, and he says, George, I want you to try this, you know. And I'm like, okay. And then it was Jay Perez, Steel Rain.
Okay.
So I, not knowing the song, I just, okay, let's do it. And I recorded it, and I still have it. And I was just like natural.
John Ortiz said he put a lot of tracks on keys for that song. That's a lot of guys are chiming in.
Hey, Maria.
Yeah,
We got Maria.
honestly.
Maria
Yeah,
Luis.
Again, man.
John Ortiz, let
You
me
guys,
tell you.
again, you guys together, man. You guys made it something powerful.
I didn't even know that song and I liked it. The one that I recorded, the one that we watched last night. I don't know the words, but just listening to
What song did you listen to?
which one
Like,
was
which one?
what was the name of it?
I can't remember the name.
That's okay, don't worry.
Actually, why don't you just play it again?
Yeah,
So
let me get to it.
we'll give people a little taste of what George is like.
While we look for it.
Man, I'll tell you what, I was jabbing. It was like, shut up, I'm trying to listen.
Some about hold on.
He goes, Mike goes out with this cut off shirt, and he's on
Yeah.
guitar. jamming out.
The screen.
That's Michael for
Monitor
you.
goes.
Michael
He
was,
talks to the crowd. He's getting that crowd hyped up.
Yeah.
The people in the background very.
you
creative.
know, and that's the thing with Michael is he's more of the DJ, more of the hype guy, like you
Yep.
said.
Yeah.
You know,
Get
and
people hyped
you
up.
and me, no, I'm not. I'm just like, go ahead. You know, just do your thing. I'm sorry. I'll just sit here, and when you guys cue me in,
Del Corazon, and El.
El Pulso del Corazón.
Yeah.
That's an original that Willie wrote.
Oh, okay.
So
And-
go ahead, pop it up. Let the people see exactly what we're talking about. If you were on a show yesterday, you would know what we're talking
Let
about.
me click on it for some.
Oh, that was on. Yes, I wasn't on. Oh, that was
2023.
And gentlemen, may I have your attention?
Yeah, that was
Time for final
That's the live performance you guys were doing.
start.
This whole thing was about sleep. And I went back after he left. After his dude, we were all we said he can sleep over this Saturday.
Holla, Michigan, how you doing out there tonight?
Popped it back on.
I can't hear you. Holla, Michigan, how you doing? We are Calypso Man. We are here to play with you. Let me hear somebody scream. Mi papá me lo decía y tú tienes que entender el pulso de corazón es lo que quiere la mujer. Mi papá me lo decía y tú tienes que entender el pulso de corazón es lo que quiere la mujer. El pulso de corazón, el pulso de corazón, el pulso de corazón es lo que quiere la mujer. El pulso de corazón, el pulso de corazón, el pulso de corazón es lo que quiere la mujer.
Okay.
well, they got it.
They got it just
Yeah, they got the logistics.
Yeah. So we got George Salazar on tonight, everybody. We want to thank him for coming in for us and talking about him and giving people updates and give everybody a little
And again,
ease.
we are glad that you are in better health.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's where I was going to get. That's where I was
You
going.
said you get to go back to work?
Yes.
Soon?
Thank you, Lord, because I'm tired of being the girl in the house, doing the laundry, doing the cooking, taking care of the kids, and just doing everything. But if our time is up, I do want to touch about my solo album and the next.
Oh no,
solo
go ahead.
album that's
You
coming
can
out.
go as long as you want.
No. I thought you were already like that.
No. I was just giving like newer people that were coming in an update.
Oh, I didn't even know there was more people coming
Oh,
out.
yeah,
I
there's-
can't see it, but-
There's people coming in and out, in and out. So it's,
No, but yeah, I'm going back to work Monday. Thank you, Lord. Sitting at home, you're not making money, and as an artist, starving artist, as you can say, starting up, you're not making money off of
Right.
albums. You're making money off of selling
Selling albums
CDs,
and shows.
selling merchandise, actually getting booked, promoters booking you, and looking at you and saying, "Hey, this is it."
Yeah.
So it's really not there. So I'm glad I'm going back to work, and there'll be some limitations that are being put
Of
on
course.
myself
Mhm.
because of the stress.
The stress.
You
yeah,
know,
the stress
being
of
a
work.
senior customer service rep
I
at
can't get being a
COVID.
senior. I can't get used to being a senior.
Right.
57, and I'm already 55 plus. Woo, I made
Wait,
it.
so do we get to go have free coffee with you?
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, I love going. I
Hey,
like
somebody
going
already
to
told me the same thing.
I do too.
Yeah,
They got great coffee.
You go to IHOP and it's like you got a 55 plus menu, and it's like, okay, I don't like this $14.99, I like $8.49. So hey,
Exactly.
I can save money and buy my wife something.
Exactly.
Right.
There you go.
You know?
Now you can pay for everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
We are not going to Vegas this year. Every year we go to Vegas, and I've been performing in Vegas 2 years straight.
Hmm.
So I performed with some of the big hitters,
Yes.
like Mario Ortiz Jr.
You did Little Joe, did you? You played with Little Joe?
No, I did not play with Little Joe. He was there, but I didn't play with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
So
Alright.
you did do a cruise, the Hano cruise thing.
no. We're talking about that one though. We're talking
I was
about
just saying,
one
I thought you
That's
did
actually
something.
this coming June.
Yeah, I think it's Gary Hobbs, Jay
Yes,
Bettis.
yeah.
and some others. My idol is Jay Bettis and always has been. I know people say he's a yada yada yada,
Oh.
his character yada yada yada, but you know what? The man is real. He's like
Yeah.
the President Trump. Man, Trump puts his foot in his mouth all the time. Okay? Not trying to get politics in here.
Yeah,
But,
you got to throw a little bit in there.
Just saying.
Don't start it,
you know,
man. We already
yeah.
had the post that
Yeah. Okay. I miss it, but Jay Bettis is like no voice out there. I'm sorry. There's no one that has his voice, and his voice is just wow.
It
And
is.
that's my coach.
Yeah,
He is
sure.
my coach. That is my coach, not personally,
Mhm.
but a coach meaning like I hear his old albums and I'm just like, oh hell yes, this is what I want to do. So what I mean by practice is I would practice singing his songs and hitting those ranges and hitting those vocals so that I could at least try and not mimic it, but
Yeah.
when Carisma guy would say, hey, let's do a J. Oh man, I'd be like, yes,
I know that one.
or Bobby Pulido,
Bobby Pulido is another good one.
Well, we started with Bobby Pulido
Yeah.
and Sierra,
Yep.
and Edmund, you, Brian, Ernie, Steve, Joe. I miss Joe.
Man, you know what? I've been hanging out with his daughter lately.
Yeah.
And it's I'll tell you what, man. She says the same thing you did. I miss my dad.
Oh,
He comes around every once a year. He's
Yeah.
busy.
yeah.
He
He
doesn't
was in
even
Monroe.
play no more.
No, he don't.
So,
But
that-
I did tell him one time. I says, hey man, if I ever have something over here and you're over here, can you play it for you, George? I will. You better, man.
you better. I mean,
That's
that would be
cool.
one of the other great musicians
Yes.
that I would actually ever play here in Holland for you. That would be one of the badass.
Yes.
Even to getting the Ortizes together just to play. That would be,
and that's
or
why.
the Martinezes, or put them together.
John
Yes.
Ortiz said he's a senior too.
Yes.
Get like
yes.
the old band, because back when the old writers were playing, it was the Ortiz and the Martinezes. Get those two together, then you get this.
Yeah.
We jamming out there.
Yeah,
Whoa, somebody's singing out there.
I think my wife's doing something. Doing something in here, and I'm guaranteeing like, where's Norma? What the hell is she doing?
Right.
That's
Sounds like a choir out there.
You got all happy. Just
Right.
Alina going.
Yeah. But yeah,
But getting to Selena, I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people ask me on interviews, hey, how did you start? Or what made you get into Tejano music? Why did you start
Very
singing
valid question.
Spanish
yeah,
music?
that's
And when you said Selena, my answer to those questions always is when they took that perfect rose away from the United States of America and she
Mhm.
was doing it, I said to myself, I want to try and sing Spanish. I mean, I don't want to be a Selena. There's nobody. There's a lot of women out there that want to sing Selena. Stop doing that.
Hang on,
Stop.
Ain't nobody
doing
gonna be
that.
like Selena.
There's a lot of women that try to portray
Yeah.
Selena.
It ain't gonna happen.
Yes.
You suck.
No. You could have a voice. You could.
You can, but you
do that.
cannot mimic that.
Exactly.
My thing is, that's her legacy. I know you
Leave
want
it
to
alone.
keep it on. I know you want to sing in memory of her. I know you think you can sing like her, but no.
Yeah.
Selena was like no other.
I remember when what was the girl with
1 in a billion.
Shakira and Becky G did a tribute in France. They did a tribute to Selena, and they bombed it.
Mhm.
They didn't rock it. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
you can slam on it or you can bomb it.
Right.
They bombed it.
Listen. Lately, they've been playing some reels of Selena and how her movements are and her figure. Everything about Selena was Selena.
It was Selena.
Yeah, she had her own
wasn't
style.
this other copy. I want to do Selena, and you're out there doing it. No, don't. It just does.
She had her own.
Everyone's just gonna-
No, you could ask anybody in the studio.
Mhm.
Ask anybody in the studio. They're like, why don't you like playing Selena? Because I can't stand playing her music. I played it so much with Grupo Sierra.
Yep.
Mhm.
Not only that,
Marty and Erica.
yeah,
Yeah.
but not only that, it was the factor that the radios overplayed it, the people overplayed it, and when they announced that she was the queen of Tejana, which she's not, she made room for the Tejana movement
Right.
for
Right.
the women. She wasn't the queen though, and that's where I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done. I mean, I love the music, just don't play it.
Right.
I played enough.
So who would be the queen of? Like
Who
you
actually
would think
started
Laura
would be like
Canales?
Laura Canales.
Yeah,
Then you got Yolanda. Yolanda something. She was older. She was like right underneath Laura Canales.
Okay.
And then you have Linda Ronstadt. She was also a great
Oh yeah, Linda Ron- oh yeah, that's right. She did.
she was half.
Well, no, it's
Yeah,
interesting
Puerto
to
Rican
hear your
and-
perspective
Yeah.
in regards to female singers and who is a Tejano queen. And
Well, I pay attention because I love music,
good
and but to mimic someone who did such a great job from nothing to
epistemology.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't mimic. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
Right.
Let her
Exactly.
rest in peace. Let her just
Yep.
Let rest already.
Well, you
Right.
know,
And the other thing that got me upset was the family living off her legacy.
yes.
Oh yeah.
And they're
I-
still doing.
And they're
it.
still,
doing
It's
it.
like, leave her alone.
Yeah.
Chris wants to be in peace, but he can't because the dad's always bringing him to shows, and it's for Selena.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
It's like let her. Yeah,
Let her
exactly. Let
rest,
her rest
man.
in peace.
Let
That's why they
Chris-
say
let
rest in
Chris
peace.
deal with his girlfriend how he
Yeah.
wants to deal with the girlfriend and get married.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because Chris ain't alone now. He's got a girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody, well, some people know, some people don't.
Yeah.
But the thing is he's not tired of it, but he is tired of it. He's tired of the shine. He doesn't want to shine anymore. He just wants to just rest and just be him.
I'm
Right.
sorry, my wife is playing my song.
Like, why we can hear it? Hang on.
You hear her? That's my wife. Or she's like, oh Lord. Yeah, everybody that knows my wife, my goodness,
She's dancing.
she's
dancing.
Probably wouldn't be able to pick. The only downside is I don't think I could pick that up because I got those filters on the mics.
You're okay. But no,
But
I want
yeah.
to give thanks to Eddie Bettis. And he just opened up his new studio also as well in San Antonio. His son, Eddie Bettis Jr.,
Okay.
plays the drums, plays the accordion, plays the bass, played with Elida Alvante over there in San Antonio. Chente Barrera, Gilbert Velasquez,
That's a good
a lot of musicians on my first solo album are Grammy Award winners.
Yes.
Right.
Chente Barrera, as a matter of fact, on the second album that I got coming out, I have a Chente Barrera and I collaboration song
Nice.
Cool.
in tribute to Juan Gabriel. So we chose
Okay.
a Juan Gabriel song
That is different.
that I wanted, and I wanted to make it different. Anybody that knows me,
Juan
out
Gabriel has a voice.
yes, I know that. He's a tenor,
He's yes.
and I don't think they ever dropped.
Yeah.
But all I'm trying to say is rest in peace. But I meant it in a good way because his voice is again like no other, and it's very high.
Yep.
And in order to hit that, let me tell you, on a good day, I can hit some of those notes, but I'm using falsetto. I'm not using my normal voice.
Yep.
You know, so
Like, you know, like you're also meant to cut your vocal cords to make it sound better.
Yeah.
No.
Really?
No.
I was just gonna say that. Wait, then how do you do that? No.
See, and Jay Perez went in and had some surgery, and we prayed for him when he had that surgery for his vocals. Also, Los Desperados, the lead singer, he has gone into some treatments also as well, and prayers to him also as well, because he went in and it didn't do good. It did bad. So now he's going back in again. So hopefully I'm praying that things follow through for him.
Yeah,
You know, so
sure.
there's a lot of musicians in San Antonio that I have personally met and have got to know. Sonny Sauceda.
Oh, man, that dude.
We shared the limousine with Los Estrellas de Oro,
Okay.
Junior, and I think it was one other band member and his wife that went and were nominated for the TTMAs.
Mhm.
So that whole experience was memorable. Win or lose, and Jay told me, you already won. Just by being here, you've already won. Even if you didn't get the award,
Right, exactly.
you won. And it's just like, okay, I'll take it. You know, okay, I'll take it. You know,
Right.
but meeting my idols was like Stephanie Montiel and her sister, and I was just like,
So,
besides being hot, and besides being a woman that shows all these different outfits, all these different beautiful outfits. I'm just thinking, man, you've already outdone Selena in regards to outfits. So if
the
you
way
ever
she's
had a
dressed.
museum, can you imagine
Yeah.
all the outfits that she has? And her voice, she's like, damn, she's really good. She's in love with my voice, I guess.
she's getting down.
But yeah.
Get down.
But this next, the second solo album that's going to be coming out, it's taking a little bit longer, but I just want it way lot better than the first one.
We have a
Right.
studio waiting for you.
Yep, there's
Yeah,
a microphone
right,
right
yeah,
in there.
great voting
We
booth
got
waiting for you.
one of the
Whenever
best
you decide
producers
it's
in the
okay.
state of Michigan.
I
yeah.
did, and this is interesting that we talk about this. We'll have to talk about business later.
Right.
You're surprised too. I'm not a rich man, but I can make things work.
We'll figure it out.
I can make things work.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
That's awesome. But I got off the phone this morning with a songwriter, a Grammy Award-winning songwriter that wrote songs for La Mafia, for Jay Perez, for Mas, for all these what is it? I forgot his name. Anyways, this guy knows his stuff.
Right.
So this morning, my wife texts me right away saying, "Hey, you need to call this number." I'm like, "What do you want? Who is this? I'm in the bathroom right now." And lo and behold, she told me it's Humberto Beto.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got on the phone, we talked, and phone call went great. But he wanted to see, because he didn't know who I was. He didn't know what I sounded like. So
He just got a number to get a number.
yeah, so he said, "Hey, can you send me some of your videos? Are they on YouTube or can you?" I says, "You know what? I'll hang up and then I'll send you a couple of songs." So I sent him all the songs, the album, 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, he calls me back. "Hey, George." I said, hey, what's up? Wow, I didn't expect you to call me back so quick. So is this a good news or bad news? He goes, "Man, you can carry an album. You sound on pitch. We're working."
Yep.
So
That's awesome.
we
That's
verbally,
That's
That's
one thing
cool.
about the Hana music, and people when they hear a certain voice, they know
Yeah.
exactly. When we were playing the Sierra, what was one thing I told you?
Yeah.
You got to get out there. You have a
It's
voice.
different.
You can hear, and when you get that itch and that person, when I had that feeling, I looked at you and you were singing. I'm like, you got it.
I had goosebumps the first time. Our first show was in Michigan. Go Blue. Remember?
Yeah.
It was just like, wow, this is awesome. I've always wanted to go to University of Michigan.
Beto Ramon.
Yep.
Beto Ramon.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What is the difference between Tejano music from Michigan and Texas?
Very different.
What is
It's very different. I think Texas Tejano music, it's instilled in them since they were born. I mean, Michigan,
They live there.
you've got coconuts.
Oh,
And no disrespect to us Hispanics up here.
Oh no,
There's nothing wrong, but there are some real good Hispanics that are born and raised up here also as well.
Right.
And look at the Martinez's.
Yes.
I mean, the dad,
That's true.
the mom, the kid, Paco, George, what he did on the accordion, what he still can do on an accordion. The devil went down to Texas and all this. I mean, I heard there's Los Escorpiones, just
Oh yeah.
they're amazing artists. I'm not taking away, but the difference between Texas or the Valley, San Antonio, because they say San Antonio is the capital of Tejano music.
Yeah.
I beg to differ a little bit because a lot of Edinburgh Bobcats, where I'm from, you've got Frontera. Edinburgh. You got Bobby Pulido, Edinburgh. You've got Roberto Pulido, Edinburgh. You've got all these other different bands, Secreto, that's from the Valley. I mean, you've got a lot of great. Look at Highway 281.
Oh yeah.
Chris Rodriguez, the Crispity Crisp show. So Texas is so different.
They hold their pride to a different level.
They live, eat, and breathe that stuff. Over here, we got full-time jobs. We're like, yo, what? I gotta work. And then, can you come to practice? No, I can't. I got a sick stomach. I get, oh man, so you're like, well, you better practice your stuff. When you come to practice, you don't come to learn your stuff. You come to play it.
Right.
And that was the one thing that some of the band members didn't quite understand, and including myself, because man, I got tied up with so much work going on that I didn't have time to learn the songs. So I had to get the sheet music. I had to look at it. And, and that's one thing about, the great artists. I've noticed now, and more so with Mas and some of these other big names, and sorry to put you out there, Jay, but Jay Bettis too also as well in Vegas. I noticed they have a proctor.
Yes.
And they have the words there.
Yes.
So your ass can be like boom, 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 singing and dancing, and if you miss something, you're like, okay, and no one knows.
Right.
So you're like, wow.
Because most people aren't paying attention to that.
And I'm thinking, with Charisma, man, I was just like, damn, I had to learn over 100 plus songs. I had to learn a lot of set. You had a 4-hour set, 2 hours and a break, and then another 2 hours. And by the end of that, man, my voice was like, oh, guys, what are you doing? Nombre, fúmate esto. Tómate esto. Take a shot. Take a hit. Relax. I'm like, I'm nervous. Yeah. So I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, another great performance was in Kalamazoo. Bell's Electric.
Bells.
Dude, we tore that up with Sanchez. What's her name? Christina?
Was it Christina?
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
Celestina.
Celestina. Damn it. You're right.
Celestina y Los Sanchez.
Celestina y Los Sanchez. And man, kudos to that band too.
Dude, I remember that night.
Yeah.
I was looking at the pictures 2 days ago.
Dude, we had a shitload of people there. The owner was like, oh my God, this is the most we've ever had.
Dude, and both of them were
There you
from
go.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We all went. We shot. I think it was like 6 cars deep.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And all cars were packed. And we had 3 vans.
Yeah.
All of them were packed. And we shot all the way to Kalamazoo just to support the guys.
The
When
joy.
was this? How did I miss this one?
Well, seriously.
That was back in 2017.
Man, it was. Yeah, it was.
Oh, I was
back in the
living
day.
in Kalamazoo at the no, I wasn't.
2016, 17.
I wasn't
But-
living there.
The history. The only one that will really know the history of Carisma Ben is Javi
Yeah.
and Willie. May
Right.
rest in peace. Because those two were the driving force of Carisma Band. and Willie was always called el maestro.
Yeah.
Maestro.
Mm.
And I would have said, no maestro. And me and believe it or not, me and Willie, we had a love-hate relationship too. We'd
Yeah.
get into it. You know,
Yeah.
no, I'm not doing it. And you better sing from here. And I'm like, no. And then Michael would
Con los
always say,
huevos.
yeah.
No le canta con los huevos.
And Michael would always be like, you got that, or like, yeah, you know, that kind of, stop with that, and I'm just
You
like,
dropped them, boys.
yeah, and I'm just like, dude, I just want to be me, man.
Yeah.
Let me just be me. Let me just sing.
Yeah.
Well, my first solo album, that was me.
Yeah.
My Carisma band was more so geared towards this machismo, you know, and
Prideful.
yeah, more aggressive, more,
Mhm.
you know, yeah.
Yeah.
So and when I was released to the wolves, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it this way, and I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm just gonna sing comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of songs that were too fast for me. I'm not a rapper, you know, and that's one thing I couldn't do. There was this one song from Maceo, and it was real fast, and I was like, oh, I can't do that song. You gotta. For the life of me, I've tried it. Like, I can't get it. Yeah, the tongue twisting was so.
I think where people fell in love with your voice is when you alternated from country to Tejano. Because you did that drinking problem.
I love country.
And so when you went, everybody stopped and they were like dancing. All of a sudden, I was like, wait, hold up. Who's that singing?
Yeah,
'Cause you sounded exactly like the artist.
I love doing that. People used to call me the chameleon,
Yeah.
Mm.
where
Mm.
I could do a norteño song and then all of a sudden, el camaleón. I love the camaleón. Aggie would always tell me Spiky. Oh, Aggie. Hey.
Oh,
But that boy, he would say, damn it, George. Every time he'd go with us, man, how do you switch it up? I go, well, sometimes you just figure
You
it
know,
out.
Yeah.
When I was
Sure.
hanging out with, and when I first started with Grupo Sierra and they wanted me to sing, and they would say the same thing, but they would tease me because I can get as high as a girl. You know what I mean?
You know how hard
And
that
as
is?
low as, what's his name? Barry White.
Very white.
So there was
Or
like,
Nate
so
Dogg.
they would tease me, so I just quit singing.
You know how hard that
Yeah.
is?
It
To
is
be
hard.
able to go from a tenor and then go down to a
The
bass.
Hard.
And I'm
Because then
glad,
it takes a lot out of the vocals.
Mhm.
And then a lot
I'm
of
sure it does.
yes.
the diaphragm takes a lot as well.
Especially having to go that quick.
I'm glad you
Yeah.
touched on country because his second album has a country song.
That's
We
good
gotta
because
get that
people
correct.
are getting into with the Tejano music. People are getting into country music with Tejano.
You're-
It's kind of a
I'm
mixture.
mixing it together.
You know what I
Well-
mean? That's just man, that's badass.
To be honest, this second album has more than the first one. I have 10 recorded songs on this album. One is Mary Did You Know and was featured for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
And that one, if you've ever heard it, it's a very,
Very.
very touchy
I
song.
like that
Very.
song.
I had to stop it a couple of times in the studio because the words Mary Did You Know in the story is so powerful that
Oh, yeah,
if
it
you
is.
feel that, you gotta stop.
Yeah.
Another one is a country, but it's not just a country song, it's a cover song, but it's a medley.
Oh,
I chose 2 songs to mix and record as one. So there is a big, ooh, what is
Mm.
this? And it's totally different. 2 cover songs. I always pick 2 cover songs on an album. This
Right.
one here is a little bit more, but for the first one was Rigo Tovar, La Serenita.
okay.
And then
That's
the
nice.
other one was Vicente Fernandez, may he rest in peace. We released it on the anniversary of his death, December 12th.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was El Rey. So, which is still being played around Texas, around Mexico. Thank you, para toda la gente de Mexico, you know, San Luis Potosí, you know, Monterrey.
Monterrey.
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
your version's playing?
Huh?
Your version's being played? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Matter of fact, one of the songs that was just released, which was Como Duele, hit #1 over there. And I was shocked. My
That's-
wife was crying. telling me
That's
about it.
impressive. Congratulations.
So, no, thank you. No, I don't.
That's awesome.
I'm
Good
just
thing-
saying, it's
It's
just
good.
it-
but
it's
you know what?
just-
Again, what I said earlier, and this goes back to what I said earlier, is you're leading the path to the solo artist that can. You're showing the artist here that let you know if you
It can
got
happen.
goals and it can happen for yourself.
Do it.
You just got to push yourself the way you push
Yeah.
yourself.
Exactly.
You just take that time and say, you know, I don't want to do this no more. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pursue my dream.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you did. And now, mira.
And
Mhm.
exactly what I wanted, I said to myself, that's why when I was in the hospital, guys, I said, si se me lleva la chingada, se me lleva la chingada. I already fulfilled my dream. I wanted a solo album. I got it. My wife looked at me, is that all you wanted then? And I go, yeah, then we can stop right now. And she started using reverse psychology on me. I said, get out of here. You got to be kidding me. Are you fucking kidding me? You know,
That's funny.
this to me right now while I'm here in the hospital.
She wanted an Emmy. That's what she wanted.
Exactly.
Emmy.
Like,
She was an actress right there.
no, but here's the thing. Awards, people do not define an artist. To
No.
me, awards do not define an artist. Because our awards are already, they're already chosen even
Right.
before the awards,
Before the awards
ceremony
even start.
starts.
Yeah.
They already know who won.
Yeah.
They just need to fill it in and just be like, hey, here are the other guys. I go. At least that's my perspective way of
Actually,
thinking.
that's how.
And you know what? I
That's
really,
That's pretty
and
much
really,
all it is.
I don't need to buy an award. I don't need an award. I don't need to kiss or say, hey, you know, I want. No. I would rather just be sincere, honest, and sing and just have fun with the people. And believe you me, when I was on stage and I'm singing and I see people dancing, smiling, high-fiving, and just the joy,
Right.
I would get a chill. I would get a feeling like, no, man, I'd be just like, oh my God, I went to a different level.
Yeah.
A different level without me even knowing. And I think that's more so like the Holy Spirit. I don't want to get religious,
That's fine.
but I thank my Father in heaven
Amen.
that I'm
Come on.
able to share and I'm able to be doing something for the people.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I would always say less is more. So if
Yes.
I ever throw a show, hey, $10, $12 a ticket, guys, come on out. You're gonna have fun.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
no
for sure.
matter what, because there's gonna be good music, good people, and the vibe is gonna be
Great vibes.
because you gotta put that and instill that out there.
Mhm.
You know,
And that's what I noticed about you too, is the way you perform, you get the people involved, and you make them dance pretty much. The way you
So,
react to them.
I'm going to back him up on that because just last night I was watching, actually, it was John Ortiz or somebody, a girl. No, it was a girl that had the video from the VFW.
Hmm.
You were singing, and you saw this floor just packed. Now, she panned out. All the tables were empty. You got like maybe one or two people at the bar, but
Yeah.
everybody was on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Like, you were you were bad. You were singing your heart out, bro, and everybody's like,
Mhm.
"Wow!" One girl jumped on stage and took a quick picture and then jumped off. I don't know if you remember that, but it was in that video.
There's so many
So
that Marcos, I just felt so compelled to be able to feel that warmth of love
yeah,
with the Tejanos. And there were some Caucasians there too.
oh yeah,
And I was just like, they don't know what the hell they're doing, but they're having fun. And that's
Exactly.
all
you
that
got to remember that some of the güeritos that come in here, they're married into the race.
Yes.
They're married,
Yeah.
so they
Yes.
get it. They know, and they're like, "Well, this makes my wife happy. Let me join her."
Mhm.
See that?
Mhm.
Brian says, "Amen. God is good."
Yes, amen.
And John Ortiz said, "That was me."
I love my Ortiz brothers,
Man,
honestly.
so
Those are
you
my
touched a lot of
boys.
hearts. You
John,
touched a
you're
lot of
awesome.
souls. A lot of people have got. John said he posted it. That's right.
Yeah.
But you touched a lot of people out there that wanted to pursue their dream, but you gave them that
That
you
drive.
know what, that drive to go. If
Mhm.
he did it, I can do it.
And that's what you want, you know. And for me, I as a matter of fact, I was at Anita Rudell's house.
Okay.
You know Anita.
Yes, I do.
Anita.
Hi, Anita.
Anita has no filter. I
You know.
love that about her, and she's so straight,
She's straightforward.
forward, and she doesn't give up. You know what?
I know.
About
I've talked to her
whose feelings or what's gonna be.
when we did the show last weekend, and it was like 2 days prior. Anita calls and she was like, da 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 da. Da. I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Let me
I
catch
know
up.
the band. I mean, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
they said this. I'm like, I'm not them. Like, they
And
changed plans.
see-
but I was like, okay.
Anita's
She's
that
very-
one that my wife and I, that's our That's our joker, our card.
Yeah.
That's our hey, this is what we've got. I'm glad to have her on my side.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
glad,
She
I'm
brings a
glad
lot
that
of support.
I'm glad that she supports every artist.
Right.
And any artist that comes to the VFW, she is so ready to go and support them and pay whatever comes to our back door, our back corner or in Holland.
Yeah.
She loves to support that, and she'll go to Lansing, she'll go to Chicago, she'll go to Ohio, she'll go anywhere. My goodness, Anita's Anita, man.
Oh, I know.
Anita's
She
Anita.
brings a lot of support.
Mhm. She's my tambourine girl. I have a picture of her when she got up there. Get your ass up here. You're gonna play the tambourine on this one, and Willie let her, and I let her.
Almost every song that you were in that video, she's in there. Almost every song, she's.
Yep.
Oh, the one that girl was posting? Or, no, John was posting.
No, Anita's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
she's
cool.
And she's the only one that my wife and I go to, and I says, Anita, I got an album coming out. Well, get your ass over here. Let's hear it, and I'll play it. But it's raw, bare bones,
Yeah.
just my vocal and just a little bit. And then she hears the progression. She goes, "Is this already mixed and mastered yet?" No. Oh, okay, I'll hear it. And then,
That's
she wants.
That's
Yes,
exactly Anita.
she's like, I want it done. And it's not done yet, Anita, but I'm showing you baby steps on how the song is
previews.
coming along. But she's the only one. She's the only one because I gotta have that straight up what is it called? Constructive criticism.
Yep,
Yes.
constructive criticism.
And then once I hear what she has to say and my wife has to say, then I get back with Eddie. And I tell Eddie, can we do this? Can we try to do an echo here? Let's do something different. I want
No reverb in there.
yeah. Or let's act like I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
This new song that I'm about to release, guys, is called No Admites. And it's basically a guy telling a girl, come on, admit that you still love
Still
me.
love me, yeah.
Right.
And this song is more geared towards the younger crowd and more towards the 20s, 30s, where you're still like, come on, man, of course you still love me, so
Yeah.
it's you're gonna love it, guys. You're gonna love it. I love it.
So when can people know that the CD's coming out? What can you give a date or
No.
just say soon?
I can.
Okay.
That
Fair enough.
Eddie's working on it, and I know I told him I'm not pressing for time, but I do want to get it done. And maybe it's not getting done because you never know. I might want to throw those songs from Beto,
Okay.
Ramon. I want shoot. As soon as he sends me those songs, man, I'm gonna start working on them. And then I gotta contact Eddie, or maybe I might just say, hey, can we experiment here? And throw that and send him.
We
that
have all the
over there.
equipment you need.
So the one thing with Eddie is he gets musicians to come in and play your part.
Yeah.
Okay, now you play your part.
Yep.
And then he puts them together.
He
And
edited all that in.
the funny thing is with Chente Barrera, it was so funny because I get a call from Chente and with Eddie. And he's like, George, what song do you want me to choose over here? And prior to that, Eddie was telling me, yeah, man, Chente's a little nervous there. He doesn't know which one, or what.
100 songs.
There's these
He gave a
songs.
list.
And he doesn't know which one to choose because he's like, oh, where am I going to fit? So when I heard the song, him and I was like, which one's me? Acting like, oh my God, I sound like Chente. But no, it was sort of like it was almost like there, they're
in
both in
sync.
unison and sync. And I was like, well, who's higher? Who's lower? Who's going to do the second one? But the one on Carisma Band, Nunca Vuelva,
Yeah.
Que Nunca Vuelva, I did my own backup on that one.
Oh, really? You did your own backup on it?
That's cool.
That one there, I was really shocked and really impressed with. I really enjoyed that one. Not just because I did my own segunda, but because the units, the way they told me how to do it,
Yep.
and then just do it.
How many takes did it take you, though?
Don't remember.
That many, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Should
many,
say
huh?
too many
Because
to
I know
remember.
when you got your own backup, you're singing your own backup, you got to be perfectly in line with what you just did.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you
A
got
little bit up,
Yep.
a little bit down.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because if you don't, yeah, you got to retake it and then redo it, and then well, let's do it this way, and then it's just there's a lot of
Yeah.
in
I did
betweens.
I did record with Vida
Vidal,
Vida. I think.
Grupo Vidal or
No.
Vidal.
I completely forgot his name. I did Emilio Navaira's song Juntos.
Juntos.
And
That's
it's
a great song.
it's
That's
out
a
there.
beautiful song.
It's out there. Yeah, I did my own backups on that one too. I was a little shocked at that one as well. And that was recorded over there on the north side of Grand Rapids, Sturgis, or what is it called?
Plainwell?
Alpine.
Alpine.
Alpine, and then there's a little town over there.
Comstock?
No.
No, Comstock's east.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a couple of songs out there that I recorded, and he forgot his name.
okay.
Oh man.
You'll call me later.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
me.
But no, I
We
mean,
can edit it into the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, we'll throw it in.
And then we'll throw it into
no, but prayers and blessings to everybody that has really honestly thought of George, me, in regards to being in the hospital and going through what I was going through. Dude, it was bad. It was just,
okay.
I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, because the feeling
Mm.
for those days, dude, it's like you're like, I don't know what hell is, but it feels really bad,
Or
it
Very
is.
been there.
Oh man,
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
Well, because couple years back. Well, actually, it wasn't even last year.
I think
I had a
so.
small stroke.
Not good.
Only thing is, it was just very, very mild because my face wasn't drooping and stuff like that. Javier Guerrero says Danny Salas.
There you go. Damn it. He recorded the Charisma band, Chiquita. Thank you, man. Because I was like,
You saved the day, Javi.
Oh,
Damn, I'm like, Dan, yes. Dan
Sparta.
Salas. Yes, Sparta.
Sparta.
There, see? Ah,
Thank you for watching.
I know. I mean,
I'm in my back of my mind, but no. Last year, because of helping Ben get settled and having the studio and everything else, it was a lot of stress. And he doesn't know fully of what studio is. I, on the other hand, have done this for whatever, but it was a lot of stress.
Oh,
And I just leaned up against the wall and I said, Ben, I got to go to the hospital. We're just going to go on the podcast and then going to the hospital. And the doctor's like, okay.
So I told him, I was
It
like,
was just that ugly feeling, and it's just like I was sweating, and it was like,
but we did record. I'm glad he said that, because Sparta, we performed. Sorry to hear that, by the way.
oh, you're
I don't
fine.
want to cut you off, but
No,
man,
you're fine. It's a-
that's crazy, though.
it is
The
creepy.
feeling.
I thought I was
yeah,
having
the
one
feeling
time.
is ugly. Fierro, Grupo Fierro says, ¿Qué
¿Qué
onda?
onda?
That's Elias Rodriguez from Fendel.
Lupe Rodriguez's son. Yes. He He actually, I remember one time before he even started singing, or even getting into Charisma band. I remember one time he told me that he wanted to sing, but he wanted to sing country.
Hmm.
And I think that was, oh man, I don't remember.
Well, he's online. Do you remember Elias on what he's talking about?
Yeah, he told me one time that hey, I could sing, and I go, oh, that's cool, and then he goes, yeah, I want to sing country, and I go, man, dude, follow it, do it.
Right.
One time he did ask me, hey, what can I do? I says, hey, just do the songs that you feel comfortable doing.
Right. Exactly.
Do the songs that are in your range.
Yes.
Don't do songs, and that goes to everybody, anybody that wants to sing. And I've always been an advocate of anyone can sing,
He said, yes, you're right.
And when I say anyone can sing, you got your car singers where you get in your car and you're singing and you're just like, hell yeah, and roll down the window and or you got your shower singers.
Yep.
They're in there doing their shower singing. And then you get the ones that go out and start singing and it's just like, hey, wait a minute. What are you doing? So
Elias said back in the day when you worked there,
AutoZone.
AutoZone.
Oh, he said I talked to him at AutoZone.
AutoZone. You talked to him at AutoZone.
oh, okay. Yeah, good memory, because I'm just like, I remember.
I'm going to
that
pull up
young
those
man.
videos one of these days, and I'm going to remind you of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's a good thing. But Sparta, I like that Hav is answering on those things where I can't.
Yeah.
We actually were contracted to play at some restaurant, and it was their 25th anniversary, and it was under this big white tent, and we had our black Charisma band shirts, and it was great. We had so much fun, you know. But where was I going with that?
The great singers and people can pursue their dreams.
Yes.
They can.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter. Everybody can sing.
Keep doing what you want to do, but make sure that if you're gonna pick cover songs, make sure those cover songs fit your vocal and your style. Don't
Exactly.
go
That's
out
like
of
going
the
to Barry
realm.
White with the Whitney Houston.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Totally
or
off.
Adele.
Right.
But it's interesting, you know, to see all these bands around here in the Midwest, you know, and not to take away from anybody, but you know, practice makes perfect.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know,
I say that to Ben all the time.
and one thing with some of these bands that go out there and they just get up there and do their thing, which is fine, but you can tell
Yeah.
if you don't practice it. Here's the thing: in college, one of my professors told me this. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Right.
So musicians out there that don't practice, don't study, don't understand, you'll know. You'll know straight up. When they're up there on stage and they're just like lost.
Yeah.
So, I mean, constructive criticism is always the best, man.
Yeah, Aaliyah said, you practice at home and you come to rehearsal.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But there's
I
some
suck
people
at
that
singing.
practice at home and come to rehearsal. You can preach it, but sometimes it's not
Yep.
there.
That's
you
true.
know,
So
That's
it's
another truth.
and it shows. There's so much in singing. People think, "Oh, I can sing."
Yeah.
No,
It's more that.
there's breathing techniques. There's vocal lessons.
you don't run
There's
out of breath.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Mhm.
don't pull up. I see a lot of singers when they're going to hit a high note, da, 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 and the microphone's over here and they're over here. And
Yeah.
the audience is not hearing anything, you know,
Mhm.
when you're.
Well, that's what I
Stay
said.
right
That's
there.
What I said earlier. Is your diaphragm takes a lot.
Yeah.
Because you got to take these notes and you got to know when to just back it off a little bit.
And
Yeah.
you got to understand there's a lot of different techniques with vocals that you gotta practice. Get out of being sharp. Get out of being flat.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got to bring up this one time. We were in South Haven. Charisma Band again. Because a lot of
At
my
the
history
theater?
is with Charisma Band. No, it was outside. It was like one of those outside park things,
Okay.
whatever.
Mm.
There was this one song. It was an English song. Oh my God. They started playing and I came in on a different note.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
In other words, a different octave.
Yeah.
Mm.
It wasn't the same. I was like, why does it sound so different? And it was from the Oneaters. You know that movie?
Oh, yeah. The Oneida, the Wonders.
The Wonders. And I was just like, what? And I was like, hey. Hey. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, excuse my language. And I was just, oh no, get back to. And then finally it clicked. Boom, I got back in. I was just like, oh my God. So even people that have gone take lessons. I was 7th in the state of Texas in singing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
My senior year. My junior year, I was 19. My sophomore year, I was 24. So I kept those, you know, my sight readings, my everything,
Okay.
you know. So, but man, that was the most equal. And then there was one in Indiana, bro, where we were at an anniversary or at a wedding or I don't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And Charisma Band is known to just and then go to the next song, you know. And I'm over here like, I don't know the beginning of that song. So I paused for about maybe 10 to 15 seconds that felt like a lifetime.
Yes. Especially when you're on stage.
And then next thing you know, there's a boom. I just got right back into it. I just got into it like that. And then Man, Willie gave me a look, and my wife gave me a look like, I'm going to kill you.
And the crowd, even though the crowd doesn't know what's happening,
No,
Yeah,
they did.
they-
There's some
but
of them
they know
did.
that-
Some that knew that song were like,
What
Rosie,
is he
because R&R
doing?
Productions was like,
oh no,
yeah.
no.
R&R Productions, I think, hired us to do that. And I was just like, oh my God. I told Rosie, I am
Rosie
so sorry.
is awesome.
Oh, I love Rosie.
Rosie is so.
And Ruby.
we actually, me and Rosie brought Jay Pettis up to Lansing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I'm sorry. We probably went way over.
No, we're fine. I mean,
didn't
that's
mean
what
to.
it's your time. You want to spend an hour? You want to spend 2
No.
hours? We can talk all night if you want.
No, I'm
Just
just
let me go get a beer.
right. Basically, I'm just remembering the past and the experience, and just to let people know, not every singer is gonna be perfect. You know, they're gonna have their flaws. They're gonna have their mistakes. It's how to correct it and
Right.
how to figure out not to do the same mistake again.
Right.
You know, and that's the one thing with me that I would rate, and this is funny. I would rate the band A through F. I would rate myself as a singer A through F. Every performance. My wife's always with me, so I would always tell her. She goes, "How do you think you did?" I said, "I did a C minus."
Javier said song was "Dance with Me Tonight."
There you go.
Wrong key, SA.
Yeah, he would know because he's the one that was. Hey, you're on the wrong thing. I don't know. I'm like shit. I'm like, oh man.
Aaliyah said Chili Willie, rest in peace.
Oh yeah,
No.
Chili Willie, man. There's nobody like that, man.
No, man.
He would always invite me to the Hot Chili Peppers in Otsego, close to Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
They had songwriters, and they would always go over there and have their meetings and do their thing. And he goes, "George, you need to come with me. George, you need to come over." And I go, "No, I don't want to go. No, I don't want to go." You know, I don't want to do that. But dude, Chili Willie or El Maestro, I call him Willie. You know, he, man, and he was always right by me. Hey.
Because he saw something in you. He saw
You know what?
saw
I remember when I quit Charisma Band for the first one time, and it was for like 2 weeks, and he called me, "George, what are you doing?" I go, "Well, damn it, I," and he's like, "No, you gotta come back." You know, I said, "You have an intrinsic voice.
Mhm.
You're a part of this band." You know, and I would always be like, "No, I feel like that's that." You know, him and I would always go at
But
it.
see, again, you were hard on yourself for no reason.
I was very
Right.
hard on myself. It not only was the expectations, you know, in the band high, but when I would mess up, I knew I messed up. I would go home beating myself countless times, and my wife would always be in bed saying, "What's the matter with you now?" And I go, "Man, I can't get this, and I don't know this, and and I would get frustrated, you know, and I can't get this one. I'm not a rapper. I don't know how to rap." But through it all, there was a lot of good. There was a lot of great memories, a lot of good trips, a lot of things that we learned as a core. A band needs to be like unity, like
Yeah.
brotherhood, where
You
hey,
gotta be in
you
sync
know,
with each other.
you're gonna argue, you're gonna fight, you're gonna get into it, but at the same time, you gotta learn from it, you gotta grow from it, you know.
It's
and-
that thick skin.
Yes.
Criticism.
Yeah.
Constructive criticism that actually some people can't take that.
Yep.
And so there's where it's like, I don't want to do it anymore because they
Yep.
keep coming at me. Well, it's not that they keep coming at you.
Yeah.
They're wanting you to build better.
Yeah,
Or make,
exactly.
make yourself better.
Yep.
Some people think they're getting attacked.
Wearing your feelings on your sleeves, basically,
Yeah.
is what I was told. You know, hey, stop being a pansy. You know, hey, grow up here, or do
Right.
this, or you know, be this, do that, and you know. So I'm like,
Right.
yeah, okay, you know. No, you know, being a solo artist and being nominated, one of the top 5
Home slice.
for best new
John
metal vocalist,
Ortiz,
Home
right?
Slice John Ortiz,
Ortiz.
of course. That's his famous.
Famous line.
Yeah. But you know what? Working with musicians here, they are different. They are different from back home.
So what could we do different to build a bridge from Tejano music in Texas to Michigan? Because I know there's a lot of artists that want to come up here,
Mm-hmm.
but they feel that there's no support. And then the people up here want people to come up, but then
Well,
they
look
don't
at the
have
support. Look at the support. The VFW is a perfect example. You know, I still have not seen, and nothing to take away from any band that's been up here to the VFW. I still haven't seen a crowd at the VFW like we had crowds back in the day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to say
Yeah.
that, and I don't mean nothing against any band because they're all good.
Mhm.
They're all good. And I mean, and I feel bad because they come all the way from either Lansing or Saginaw or other areas. And just the support is really not there. You know,
Okay,
that
so
bond
let me-
Advertising.
band did not. What?
Maybe they didn't advertise enough.
It's not that.
No, it's
But
not.
let me. I'm gonna jump on my own wagon.
No, please do.
So,
Mhm.
after spending much time with different artists, different bands, and they all said the same thing. We provide music, we
Right.
provide entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
but the support sucks when it comes to Tejano music here in Michigan.
That's true.
It sucks. But you got these Mexicans, Mexicanos, that when you bring bandas and you bring, norteño music, ahí están juntos. They support each other. Even if they don't go, ahí está el dinero. Here's the money.
Yeah.
Tejano people, I'll just listen to them on a CD. I'll just pop on YouTube. I don't need to go over there and watch them.
Right.
Oh, I already heard him sing. I don't need to. It's not about that. It's about support.
Show up.
Show up and support. That's what
Yeah.
it's about.
Yeah.
Because the more you sit there and go, I'm not going to pay $10 to listen to the same song he played last week. It's not about that.
Well-
it's getting juntos, it's being together and unidos, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
la gente, it's changing.
Here's the thing with that. You said something there that just struck a note in me.
A note or nerve?
I know. Because you just said that why am I going to pay $10 for a band that's all they play the same songs?
Mhm.
Here's the thing, constructive criticism for those bands that actually do that, and I know which ones they are, but I'm not going to mention no names.
Mhm.
Switch it up. Start learning new things.
Right.
People want to hear new stuff. They don't want to hear the same songs, the same set. You know what? And I bring up Carisma Band again because you know what? That band switched it up. We
Yeah.
did not stay with the same damn sets. We would, no, let's do this one. Hey, learn this song. Hey, do this. Let's start with
It was
this song.
different every time.
Yes. Willie would always email us a set list. And him and Michael would always, let's do this. Okay, let's do this one. Let's do this one. Let's do that one. Let's do that. Let's end with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Switch it up. My thing is, that's why I learned so many songs through Carisma Band because of Willie, because of Michael. John had a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying is that switch it up, guys. Don't stay with the same damn set all the time. People are going to be like, oh, here we go again.
The same. What?
All right. Well, at least they perfected it. They perfected the
I
song.
wasn't going to say that.
You know, yes.
We get.
But they perfected it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
why did it take? How many times do we have to keep continuous
The
going?
other one was watch. We were sitting and they were watching this band. They were like, watch. The next song they're going to play is this.
It's this.
And then after that, it's going to be this.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you pay attention. I'm sitting there watching.
There you
Next
go.
song,
Exactly
bam.
what happened.
Next song, bam. Next song, bam. There you go. See? This is why we don't support each other because we already know what they're going to play. Why
Exactly.
We don't watch it.
So you really can't say much about those people that are here that don't want to go because once they hear what's coming, nah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Or
that's true.
hey, this is coming again. I don't want to go to that because it's the same thing. But Anita would always say, "Who gives up?" What?
You're not at home.
You gotta go over there and support them. They're to our back corner. We gotta support. Anita is like no other. Anita doesn't care if it's the same damn song over and over and over
She's
and
out of
over.
the house.
She's
She's
gonna
having fun.
out of the house. Let's have fun. Hey,
Mhm.
let's intertwine with some new people. Let's
Exactly.
meet who
Exactly.
they are, and you never know.
You never know.
You know. So yeah, kudos, man. Anita,
We have,
I hate you.
We have Kingpin Segovia. Or
We
Steve.
really love you.
Yeah.
Awesome to
he
see
knows.
George on the show.
What's that?
Steve Kingpin Segovia says, awesome to see George on the show.
Oh, thank you.
You were speaking of rap. There you go.
He's
He's the rap.
one of the artists.
Oh,
He's
is
one
it?
of the rapper artists.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Maybe one day You can rap. I'll sing, but you can do that little rap song.
There you go, Steve. You can have a little.
No, I've been listening to a lot of like Caloncho. I know
Oh.
you probably don't even know who Caloncho is, but he performed last year in Milwaukee Fest. If you don't go to Milwaukee Fest, go to Milwaukee Fest. At
I
least
have heard
go
about
once
that.
in your lifetime. Man, it is a Friday. If you go in before noon or 3, you get in for free.
Yeah.
And they've got a great lineup. Jay Pettis goes, Latin Breed goes. I mean,
AJ Castillo was this last year.
JLG. AJ Castillo, damn, threw down. I took pictures with him and his brother, which, yeah, anyways. So it was,
That's a story.
yeah. But no, I mean, you, Alonso, Siddhartha, I mean, I've been introduced to so many different bands that are not Tejano that I'm following. I'm not even following Tejano. I'm following some other stuff because I like the vibe. I like the bass. I
Yeah.
like the different styles.
Different genre.
Yes,
Mhm.
and those different genres. These guys have awesome like vocals and the females too. So I'm just like, man, I'm shocked.
And you-
I mean, the girls.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'm
You said that. His eyes were like, what?
That's the girl. Yeah, the girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but if you got a dream, follow it. Whether it's
Yeah,
singing,
exactly.
whether it's
I was
playing.
trying to follow the dream, but she told me she had to work.
Oh, my.
Maybe she's earning money, so
There you
earning
go.
She
money.
can pay for my dream.
But no, this other album, I'm hoping that we wrap it up soon. There's like maybe 3-4 songs already wrapped up. Mary Did You Know is wrapped up. Como Dueles wrapped up. No Admit This is gonna be.
I wanna hear that one.
soon. Dude, I have it. I'll let you hear it today.
Okay.
After the show.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
got chills on that one.
I've got that.
Ooh.
No,
Previews.
well, I
Previews.
want you to hear it, critique it, and give me your constructive criticism.
Oh, I'm very
You know,
good at that.
that's
When it comes to
and-
auto music, I'm very picky.
I sent it to my distributor, my producer, my promoter, which is Myra D. She's my
Okay.
cousin, and she promoted and distributed to Mexico and the United States.
You are connected with Laura Sainz.
Laura Sainz is my other distributor.
Hi,
Laura
Laura. How you
Sainz.
doing?
No, Laura Sainz was in charge of, and I gave her my first album, Llegaste a mi
Yep.
vida. She blew that out.
She did. She did.
She even did Daniel Aldaco's Amor Joven, Prefiero Amor, and Miss You Most at Christmas time.
Leona Promotion.
Yes, Leona Promotions. That girl one Valentine's. I remember my wife says, "Hey, surprise her." So I send her a bouquet of flowers, from Holland, straight over there. And then I always tell her, "Hi, mija, how much do you
She
need?
is so
What do you need?" She is by far the most humblest,
Yes.
nicest person you can ever meet. Because she will grab your song and she'll upload it and do everything. And Mija, how much do you need? Just this, just that. And I'm like, Mija, what more do you need? Let me know.
Yeah.
That's what we do here. This
Oh,
to let you know.
okay.
But anyway,
I'm like, okay, but man, that is a blessing.
she is.
She
She's
is
doll.
a blessing.
She's a doll.
Leave her alone. Laura is good. Laura is. She takes care of her mom. She goes to
Yes, I
school.
know.
She's a smart young lady. She's
We
like,
had conversations
She's she's amazing. She's
because
awesome.
when I was starting, actually, we were in that other studio,
Mhm.
and I wanted to bring popular bands here. I went to Laura,
Mhm.
and so talking to Laura, she told me stuff that she did, blah blah blah. But her passion was music.
Yes.
So
It
I was
is.
like, well, okay. So she was like, but and then turned got personal conversation, and I'll tell you after the show.
That's okay. That's okay.
But,
Laura's amazing.
She is amazing.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
leave her alone. That's all. Leave her
Another
alone.
thing is another sort of like a podcast, but now he's got a radio station. Is Tiger Mays. Tiger Mays. If you don't know him, I've met
That's out
him
of,
in person.
Houston, eh?
San Antonio.
Mm.
Him and his wife, DJ Eminem.
Eminem.
yeah.
Eminem, that's right.
She
Got it. I remember.
my birthday 2 years, I think it was 2-3 years ago, we went over there and she fucking cooked up a storm. But Elsie and Gonzo had taken me out for my birthday. It was October 28th,
Okay.
and my wife is November 1st, so we're real close together. So they took us out. And then when we got there, they surprised us with all that food. I was
Another feast.
I can't have any of this. So we did a podcast, and we did he's got his own radio station now.
That's cool.
I'm in rotation with him.
Good.
He's amazing. He brings these new artists,
Mhm.
and he gets a lot of grief from us too. Though we're like, "What are you playing? What that? Somebody's screaming!" And he's like, "What?" And so he'll say, "Call me." So I'll call him personally, and then we'll just FaceTime each other, and I go, "Hey, what are you doing?" No, because when KLMO
I do
interviewed me,
apologize. Our cleaners here.
oh, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
When KLMO interviewed me, DJ Taz
Okay.
and his wife, I got to meet some people out there, and for KEDA,
Yeah.
Shanana, thank you for interviewing me the first time also as well. So that was amazing.
You were actually pretty popular in Texas for a while.
Um,
Is that was
I
like
I think
every
he
time-
still
every time-
is actually.
Every time you flip the script over on Facebook, it was you're on this show, then you're
Yeah,
on this
I saw
show, then
that.
you're on this
Yep.
show, then you're on this show, then you're on this show, then you perform, then you're on this show, then you're on this show.
that's my wife's fault,
oh.
not mine. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing: it's tiring. It's really
I'm sure it
tiring
is.
in
we know.
Vegas.
We know.
We got there, and remember, this is a 3-hour difference. We got into Vegas at
Mhm.
11 o'clock.
Yep.
Noon, I'm eating lunch. I didn't go to sleep till like 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning because all the artists were coming, and my wife did not want to go to sleep. She was like, "We're gonna meet this. We're gonna take pictures."
Oh,
with
she's
them."
very adamant.
We met
Mhm.
everyone. Everyone. Then here comes the next day, round 2.
Yeah.
Thursday is the pool party, so we're meeting everybody that's going to perform Thursday, and then we're meeting other people that are flying in for Friday.
Híjole,
Yeah.
Mm.
that's a lot.
That is
Yeah.
a lot.
That'd be like,
We're still not
You'd be like,
done though.
I
You
need
still
some
got
sleep.
Saturday, and then you got Sunday conjunto, and then Monday is Mexican regionals are all coming, all the bandas.
oh man.
Michael Salgado,
Woo.
we got to stand by him.
Ooh,
out
that would
there.
have been cool.
I go, "Hey, Michael, wow." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, look, I'm not even done." I go, "Oh, wow." So, and then I was going to get interviewed by this Andreas, I think.
Andres?
I forgot her name. There's so many people
Mhm.
that I met that I completely lost. Seriously.
I'm sure that's probably because you did so much. It's like, which one do you remember?
You were still standing by
no,
8
Yeah.
o'clock.
I was like this on the slot machine. My wife, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," and I'm just like, "Babe, I want to go on and sleep." I'm literally tired. And she's like, "We'll go to the room." And Anita Rudell, we always go. We always go as a trio. We always go anywhere. We go to Vegas. We'll go to Chicago. We haven't gone together to Texas yet, but we're thinking of the Memorial Victoria Bash, Memorial Weekend in Victoria, Texas. We're thinking of that one. I'd love to. And I remember you text me one time if I was gonna go, I think it's Chicago or something, and I couldn't because I was working. There was something going on. I remember a long time ago. I don't know who it was.
Something Foundation.
Yeah.
Something Foundation. There every year they throw a show.
ITO, I think, Illinois Tejano Organization.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. I performed over there.
With my tia, Mercy Galicia.
Mercy, yes, Mercy me. She's she came over here and she gave us the tickets at I don't know, some hotel.
Yeah.
But yeah, we might be going this year. We're not sure yet, because of
Let me
all
know.
this that happened. So a lot of things happened. So
Let me know.
We don't know.
I'll go with it.
Well, after that, that's when you gotta do a refresh, a restart almost.
You know, that's what. Okay, so I hope you didn't mind, but I did play that song for a reason on the little promo that I did for
Which
you
one?
for the Ben Herrera show. I sent it to you.
The video.
So there's that. You know, when life hands, you know, you got to punch it in the face and
Yep.
keep going.
Yep.
You don't just give up. You just got to keep going.
Right.
That's why I put that song on there, because even though you went through your health issues, you get back up and you get back on. You know,
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
Punch life in the face, and I'm not done.
Yep. Oh no, I'm not done.
You
As a
know,
matter of
take
fact,
a breather and then get back on it.
I really want to come back. I want to give thanks to Tom Salazar and Grupo Ilusión.
Lición. Yes.
They are the ones that I really want to work with. They are the ones that we went to Chicago and tore it up and had so much fun doing it.
I'm surprised he's not on. He's usually on our podcast.
There's a
Got Mighty Bella.
there's on YouTube. There's a couple of songs that Chicago posted of us. So the bands that I Illinois Tejano Organization, Mercy, they would always say, "Hey George, do you have a band?" And I go, "No." And then they're like, "Can you get a band? That way they can come, they can do a set, and you can do a set. You can sing with them." I says, "Okay, well." So JRL back on the Midwest All Stars. I took him to Chicago. We went over there. We performed. The only thing I did not appreciate and didn't like, but I still, out of respect, sort of, how can I explain it?
Explain it how you explain it. Be real.
Well, I just didn't like the fact that they wanted me to sing more songs, but I didn't have a lot of songs. I only had a certain amount of songs to sing,
To cover that,
but they wanted me to do more. And I was just like, that's the only thing that hurt me as an artist, is that I didn't come prepared to do more. I just came prepared to do what I was asked to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know. And then Adriana and the Bad Boys,
Yep.
we contracted them as a band, and then they had to learn a couple of songs, and then I would go up there with them. But I was sicker than a dog, so there was no way I could actually sing. You know, so I did the best I could.
What's that other group? Fuego.
Who?
Fuego. They're out of Ohio.
Oh shoot, Yvonne and
Yvonne and
Fuego. Oh my god. Every time they would come and they see me, "Get up here, George." And I'm like, okay, you know, Yvonne, I haven't seen
so
or
hot.
heard from her in such a long time. I don't know if they're taking a break or if she's doing another
It takes
album.
me one phone call. That's all it takes me to find
Oh,
out.
well, I don't know.
I'm just
I don't, you know, I can do a phone call too as well. I know Michael Ibarra and I know
Okay, yeah.
Yvonne very well. It's just I'm doing my thing and going through my struggles that I respect people's personal lives and not really get into them too much.
I just again, I don't get into people's personal lives, but when I get asked, and it was something that was a serious question, I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? That's what in the beginning of the show, I said, well, Brian contacted me.
Right.
Now I'm like, well, you got to respect the fact that, you know,
Yes.
I'm not going to sit there and ask a bunch of people. I'm just going to ask George personally.
Right.
Because I don't need to, entre mentira todos.
Yeah.
You know, and I just want to hear from the horse's mouth.
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? If I got more than 3 people asking me how you doing, that's why I asked. We might as well just tell your fans and tell people how you're doing.
And
going on.
you know, and
So-
this is a whole reason why I'm here, and I thank these two gentlemen here for inviting me. You know, and it's been long overdue.
Oh yeah.
Out on
Very
here.
overdue. Very overdue.
So, but no, Ivan Moti was another band.
Oh.
Rolando, he's amazing. He's I've talked to him several times and told him, hey, you know, I got a couple of songs I'd like to record, and he goes, hey, come on up, you know, we'll record you. This set, and let's do it. He's doing pretty good. He's got a couple of songs. And I like that little medley that he did with Maz and what's his name, the singer that's singing. Another band that would usually just say, hey, come on up, is the Tejano Sound Band.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
When
John-
they didn't have the
John-
female singer and they didn't have the
Which now
male
Amanda.
singer. Right. Well, they didn't have Amanda or that guy. They
Rolando.
only had Lupe.
Yep.
And Danny Aldaco was the keyboard player
Yep.
and was with them. That's when I remember they used to, hey, come on
Lupe
up.
had a good voice, too.
Yeah. Lupe, I don't know what happened, and I think marriage, and I'm thinking he's pursuing a solo career.
He's actually doing
So
more of Christianity.
I'm leaning towards Christian music as well. I talked to my
Hey.
wife about it,
There you
and
go.
I told her that I'm praying that God sends me the right musicians for what I want to do. On my
Right.
first album, A Tour of Heaven, I put that on my first album because I wanted to give God the glory for
Come on
giving
now.
me that.
Amen.
Yeah,
You know.
for sure.
Well,
Definitely.
Brian does Christian music.
Brian
Martinez.
and I had a long conversation today, and I'm hoping and praying that it's serious, and I'm hoping and praying that we actually do something with it.
Good.
So
That'll be cool.
we spoke briefly today, and he asked me directly what was going on, and he asked me if I was interested, and I says I would be more than happy to do something of that nature. I've always been an individual that loves gospel music,
Yes.
Christian music, where I can just glorify God and sing
Come on.
and just go
Mhm.
Come on.
There you
and
go.
just let it
Yeah.
go. And
That's
that's one thing that I've always, and as a matter of fact, no one knows this, and you're going to hear it here in the Ben Herrera show,
Ben Herrera.
is that my first band was a Christian band in Edinburgh, Texas, and I used to sing
Oh, wow.
for Good Shepherd Church in
Hey.
the Light Brigade. So I've had
That's
Welcome,
cool.
Xavier.
it was
What up,
fun.
Xavier?
X-Man?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh
You
my
know,
goodness, how
yeah.
you doing, X-Man? Thank you for your prayers and your wife as well. I appreciate you guys. You know, brotherhood always. Once a Charisma band member, always
Mhm.
a Charisma band
Yep.
brother.
When we watched that video, I'm like, because this video right here that's on the, I was like there and I looked at the drum set. I said, wait, that's Xavier's drum set.
Yeah.
For some reason, I got upset. I'm like, who's on it? Because I know he's very particular.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who's on it?
Well, Steve Ortiz used to be our drummer. Steve Ortiz was a drummer. Ernie Ortiz was a bass player before he left and went to Tejano Sound Band. John Ortiz was a keyboard player, you know. So, and then Cookie was a guitar player. Hav,
Rest in
sax,
peace, Cookie.
and yes, and Willie.
Well,
So we really had something really, really like solid.
Yeah.
And it was getting more and more and more and more, you know, solid as we continue to keep going.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
well, there's no reason why you can't play Tejano music and be Christian.
Yeah. That's true.
I did talk to
That's a
Brian
good one.
about that also as well, and I said, you know, I'm still willing to stay singing, you know, secular music versus Christian music. No one's perfect. We are all short. You know, we're all born short.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, there's a saying, and I'm not saying it right, but we all fall something, born to sin or something like
Yeah.
that. But
We all fall short.
yes,
Yeah.
We're not gonna
Exactly.
fall short.
Yes.
Something like that.
Something like
But
that. Something along
yeah,
the lines
if
of that.
anything comes, you know, anybody has songs. If anybody out there that wants to bring life to a song that they wrote, that they have a medley and they want words to go into it, you know, it's something that I'd have to hear it and listen to it. And it takes me 3 days to just really dissect the song. The first day I read it, I write it. Second day, I just start understanding what is the storyline behind it. And the third day is just like, boom, let's do this.
There's a song that I wrote a long time ago when I started with Grupo Sierra, called Ay Morenita. It started as a ranchera. Then somewhere me and Aaron were sitting there, and all of a sudden it was just like
That's the guy,
Aaron. Rodriguez.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that when he came back from music, I want to sing. I was like, well, go ahead and sing. Here you go. I don't want to be a part of something. I don't want to take this away. Go ahead.
But so I wrote a song called Ay Morenita,
Oh, yeah?
and then we recorded it. But then all of a sudden things happened. People separated. People moved out of state. I've been asking for that song because it's on paper, and it's one hell of a song. And
Interesting.
so I sat there and because it was like Aaron's like, dude, where'd you get this? I said, I just wrote it. It was some because I was going through a breakup with my kid's mother.
It's always
And she was my morenita, you know what I mean? So it was like, I'm morenita.
okay, like a little cumbia.
Yeah,
So you still have that song?
I have it in my head.
Oh.
I've been writing it down.
There you go. Just get your phone, put on that little recorder, and just start singing it to
Sing it.
yourself. Sometimes I wake up with that I sing a song in my dream. I'll wake up, go to the bathroom, and start click, and then I'll just start singing it.
Yeah, I got to
Whatever,
write
get
it
it on
down.
or record that.
Yeah.
Because
But again,
did you forget it or something? You know.
'cause I know
You got a
Edmund was on
record.
the drums when we were recording. I was on the Latin percussion. Yeah, Aaron was on the guitar. I think Brian, were you on that the keyboard for that?
I think Brian was on the keys and accordion.
On that time.
And then Edmund came and started dabbling with the keys. Or John Ortiz. was
John
on the
Ortiz.
keys, yes. That's
Yeah,
how
so-
he fell out.
There's where like I.
Wait, Edmund was on the drums, no?
Yeah,
or was it Steve?
No, Steve.
No, Steve was on the
Steve was
drums.
on his drums, but
Yeah.
then Steve wanted to move forward and move more with another band.
Oh,
Edmund started practicing with us, and he
Okay.
became the drummer.
got it.
Let's go ahead and do the sponsor video real quick. We'll be right back. Yeah, let's get that going because, well, you know, they're waiting for us. We'll be back. All right, we're back, everybody, with George Salazar here in the building, talking about who he is, where he was, and what he's doing. So, George, you always been a good guy. You always been a mellow guy, and my sister's calling me. Lauren, I'm doing a show, so if you're listening, I'm doing a show. But I always respected you. I always thought you were. The funny thing. Here's a funny little story. When we were working together at AutoZone, at that point I did not know you were a singer.
I always told you.
I know because he's in the back singing, and I'm like, "Dang, dude, you're good. You should be a singer." I thought he was joking when he told me.
Okay.
So
that's right. You worked on 32nd Street.
Yep.
no,
I remember now.
And man, is
They
it
kicked me there.
so because she was always singing and doing stuff, and so finally I'm like, maybe he does really. I'm thinking to myself, maybe he really does sing. And then I found out you were in a band, and I was like, duh,
Yeah.
same people.
Yeah.
But no, I always enjoyed your company because you've always been good. You've always been down to earth, and everybody there. I know. I'm gonna start crying right now.
No, the one thing about AutoZone is that you meet a lot of different people.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
good, bad, or indifferent. We've had some crazy ones, and then we had some good ones.
Oh yeah.
But the coworkers, and when I met him, and I heard what he likes to do, what he wanted to do, I
You
came.
wanted to call the cops, huh?
No, I became fascinated, and I said, hey, how do you do this, or what do you do?
Yeah.
And he sent me a little video, and I'm like, come out of the background, hi, and then all of a sudden disappear, and hi, and so
I made him
was
go
just-
through the wall.
Yeah, it was comical.
God.
It was
Yeah.
comical.
God.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no,
It was
same
fun.
mutual, man. Feelings are mutual, always have been.
Yeah, you did some great work, man. And like again, when you first started with Sierra, and I heard you for the first time, I was like, you're gonna go somewhere.
Oh yeah, I
you're
thought
gonna
the
go
same
out there.
thing.
You got to get out there.
It's the exact thing I thought too when I heard you at AutoZone, and I'm like,
Shoot, I
dude,
was
what
in
are you
the
doing?
back
You're supposed to-
sitting
why are you working here?
having fun.
That's the best time.
Yep.
Because when you're just having fun, you're just being yourself.
Actually, I had two jobs. I was working full time at LG Chem.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then I was singing over there.
Yeah,
and
you
that's
told
where
me.
Marcos Gomez, which I want to throw
My
a shout
favorite.
out to Marcos Gomez, he sponsored my first album.
Yes, you did.
He sponsored it. He encouraged me. He was her. I'm thinking of my wife. My
You're
wife.
having fun out there. Don't worry.
No,
about
I
it.
know she is. But my wife and Marcos, they grew up here in Holland. They knew each other.
Yeah.
So Marcos would hear me at LG Chem because I was singing. Man, I was having a good time with George Michael songs. And he was like, dude, you can sing. And I was like, yeah. I know this guy that, has songs that, you might want to, we can go and buy songs and then we can get somebody to record them. And so Marcos Gomez, his name is on my first album,
Yes, it is.
and he is 100% my supporter in that one. Honestly, him and I went in on that album together, and I give him the thanks for sponsoring. And you know how hard that is for someone to, here you go,
Right.
do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it was like, wow. So for me, if I ever hit the millions, man, he's hitting the millions with me.
Good. Xavier Garcia said, "Puro vato pesado."
What does that mean in English?
Is that X-Man?
Yeah.
yeah, actually.
He's
He's a
Gabriel
heavy dude.
Cavazos is on.
He's a heavy dude. Gabriel Cavazos is on.
that, but Gabriel, man, I gotta get with that guy. God,
Good guy, great voice.
He gave me a card and I freaking lost it. I don't have
Pick up
nothing.
promotion.
Oh yeah, we got
Pick up
we
promotion.
got one of those
Oh.
somewhere too.
That's Gabriel Cavazos.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
He said, "Good guy, great voice."
He is like no other, man. I remember him at there was what was it? I think it was Jimenez had a 50th party or 60th birthday party, something of that nature. And I was there because we were invited. And he has always been supportive and very, very like an encouraging type of individual that gives encouragement words.
Yeah. Gabriel said, "I got you, George."
That guy's amazing. That guy, and he's a businessman.
Yeah,
And that's what I love about businessmen is that if they know what they want, and if you have what they
I got
want,
you, Gabriel.
they'll go for it. But if they don't, They're like, no.
He wants me to give you the number.
Okay,
I'll give you his number after the show.
Definitely. I would welcome that because, man, I had that card in my hand. And then my wife, come on, let's go. And I was just like, okay. And by the end of the
Actually, Gabriel, I got a couple cards I can give him, so I'll give him a card.
Yeah, great.
Cool.
So in regards to everything that has been going on and transpiring me in my life, this mild little stroke or whatever they call it, it was a big wake-up call for me. I don't want to leave this world just yet. I want to get back on stage. I really want
Come on
to
now.
have fun.
Well, you know what? We're gonna put it into a position of God's gonna allow you to do that because he's giving you
Speak
that
it into
opportunity.
existence.
Exactly. So yeah,
Right.
I believe God is giving you that opportunity to do that.
You know,
He said, I'm not done with you, son. You're going to continue.
you know,
You're going to inspire other people.
You know,
Exactly.
Sevi Contreras from Texas Latino.
Yep.
He came down back in the 90s and played in Fenville with his band. And I was there and I went up there and sang Mil Mentiras because that was one of the songs that we played. I tore that up because I love that damn song. And he heard me and the singer looked at me like, who is this guy? Well, after the song, Sebi comes up to me and goes, hey, George, do you want to go to San Antonio? I got a lot of songs, man. I want to record. Well, it was between my wife and San Antonio. And guess who I picked? Of course, my wife. Well, who's not going to pick their woman over?
Right.
No, sorry, babe.
Sorry, babe. Beep, beep.
Sorry, Tracy.
My grandma gave me this chain.
Sorry, but
That's good.
I spent enough time here.
Yeah,
I
I got to go. I got to go play in the ocean out there.
Yeah,
There's
right.
quite a bit of fish in the sea. But
I gotta go and spread my legs.
yeah.
I see that video. That girl says, "I want to go out and spread my legs." Because spread your legs mean wings.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I say? She goes, "It's your legs."
You're like,
oh, China.
but Sevi says, Sevi told me that, and I was just like, man, that is really cool. I still am in contact with him, and we still talk over the phone. And a lot of times when he gives me always that advice that I need, the constructive advice. And I say, hey, what do you think about this? He goes, less is more. Always remember that. When you're doing a song and you're recording, less is always more. Because when you go live on stage, you can do and add more stuff onto it. My wife's like, I hear this song out there and it sounds like they're doing a lot. I go, well, I don't want to do a lot. I want to do less because you know what? All the songs that I've been putting out there, people seem to give me constructive advice like, damn, dude, seriously, I didn't know you could sing. You know, my boss, he's an African-American, and he heard the country song that's going to be on the second album. He could not believe that was me. He kept saying, no, that's not you.
Now I want to hear it more.
Go hear it after the show.
Oh, yeah.
He just kept saying, for your ears only.
For our ears only,
Yeah.
everybody.
That's
That's what.
You
That's
don't
what
have to wait till the second album comes out, which is hopefully it's soon because I'm just like, man, I'm so
And we will,
Andrea,
and we will help you
Andrea.
promote that too.
She's amazing. I love it. I think Andrea, is that the
Andrea.
same?
She was
Her
always
daughter. Her daughter. She's a dancer.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you remember? Oh, sorry.
LG Camp Cugo. No.
No, I was gonna say, do you remember Tracy? Tracy Mulberg? She was a manager at Audison.
Yes, Tracy. I
Yeah,
remember
that's who that is.
Tracy. Oh
Yeah.
my God, is she still there? She was on the
no,
north side.
I don't think she's there anymore. But
Remember,
I know she went somewhere else. But
somebody scared the bejesus out of me and said that she had passed away.
Really?
Literally.
This is what I was telling you earlier.
Well, that's weird.
People like that in the Medina.
Yes.
Yeah.
They like to come in, which is why when Brian called me about you, I'm like, I'm not going to go to different people. I'm going to go straight to you.
Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully he didn't get mad because I said the C word. You know what I mean?
I didn't even know about it until he told me about it, and I was like,
I was just like,
Wait, what?
Cancer. Fuck. We had so many people in this studio that, oh, my mom died from cancer, or this died from cancer, and this my, you know. That's why they came to you, and I'm like, dude, this is what I'm his. You know, am I hearing this right? Like, you're
Yeah.
like, no, wait, well, no. So I had to make sure it was correct, but again, that's why I told you come here so your fans can actually hear the truth
Yeah.
from you,
Mhm.
not let
Some random
everybody
person.
else's, can let
It's almost
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
telephone.
Yeah.
Remember telephone where the thing
Yeah.
would change towards the end?
Oh, the circle where you say
Yeah.
one thing and
Exactly.
then go at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
No, I
we
mean,
wanted to hear it from you, straight from your.
So
No,
that's
thank
why,
you.
exactly this only, well, it's because I want people to hear your truth.
Well,
of what
and if
happened.
anybody has questions or if anybody has remarks, hey, I'm all welcome to any questions that anybody might have that I may be able to answer for them, in regards to that, so, but I do know that I am working on something here soon, hopefully at the VFW. And I wanted it to be like a benefit thing for me because $22,000 is not cheap.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
thank you, Lord, that my wife has insurance. So it wasn't as much as what we expected with the deductible and all that. So people,
Right.
if you don't have insurance, man, get something. Because
Yeah, something will help.
if anything happens to you, OMG, man, it's not, man. If you own a home, you're gonna probably have to do a second mortgage just to pay that off.
Yes,
Right.
they're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
They're
Yeah,
not
no,
cheap.
they're not.
Not at all.
I'm still paying for my daughter being born. Hombre.
Yeah. Yeah.
37
You know,
years
32
later.
years old.
Oh, I just threw a number out there.
Funny thing you say that. My daughters live with me. I let them go because they wanted to move out, and they left for a year. One was paying $1,700 for a 2-bedroom. One was paying $1,500 for a 1-bedroom.
Dang.
They came back within the year and said, Dad, can we move back? I says, yes, you may. Did you learn something from that? She goes, yes, Dad, $200 that you charge me for rent is nothing a month. And
Adulting sucks.
I go,
Exactly.
welcome to real life, mija.
Mm-hmm.
But I always tell them this. I brought you into this world, so you're my responsibility. And I don't care how old you are. I'm always going to be there for
Thank you. Like Xavier said, I'm in, George.
Oh, yep, there you go.
Xavier's amazing.
Dude, that's one hell of an artist, bro.
He's got such a huge heart.
Yeah, that guy's always.
He's got a
always cool,
huge,
too.
huge heart. And,
That dude's amazing.
just don't make him mad.
Oh, I know.
Because
I think our first conversation, is kind of a little heated.
we all have that side of us that you don't really want to poke the angry bear.
Thank you.
Okay?
This?
So, I'll bite you with one hand.
Yeah.
So, no, it's getting back to music. Music is a part of my life.
I'm sorry, I'm not on the scene, so it's hot.
No, all right. A part of me is all about business.
Yeah.
Because I got my degree at Cornerstone University
Come on now.
in business.
There you go.
Christian University, because I
Mhm.
felt that God is the one that's the director of my life. So
Come on
Oh,
now.
yeah, for sure.
Preach on that.
yeah. I'm not very religious. I don't go to church every Sunday, but I'll tell you one thing: church is in my heart, and having a personal relationship with Him is the most important thing that anybody can have. Because when you die, no one goes with you. Your soul
Right.
is the only one
You're-
going up
you're
there.
by
So you
yourself.
have to make sure that you know what you want.
Mhm.
And for those atheists out there, I don't condemn them or judge them
No.
either, because science.
You got to actually believe in something, not to believe in something.
Exactly.
So
There it is.
I feel like that is your cross to carry, not mine.
Exactly.
And you deal
We're
with
not here to
it.
judge.
No.
Right.
At least you'd be judged.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
that's something that needs to be said.
We may make fun of you along the way, but we're not here to judge.
And that's Ben's word.
Yeah, those are Ben's words, not mine.
Not mine.
Not mine either.
My
Well, sometimes they are.
and
We'll make fun of you.
and
We'll
getting
trip
back,
you along the way, but
Right.
just
But-
get up.
Yeah.
but getting back to Sevi, I want to touch bases with Sevi again, because he would always tell my wife, because she's my manager, she's my everything. He would always tell her, "How come you can't get a band for George over there in Michigan?" She goes, "You know how hard it is to get a band for George over here?
Dedicated.
Mhm.
Dedicated, or
Dedicated.
even get it." I would tell her, "Babe, don't be saying anything. It doesn't matter. Musicians are out there. If they want to, they will. If they don't want to, they don't have to." And she's like, "Well, he could be making money." Blah, 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 blah. My wife's business.
Yes.
Always has been, always will be. And she's that. Okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm glad she's not in here. But she's probably listening to
She's
me.
probably
I know
watching.
you watch it. I know. She's like, "Why did you say?" No, I don't care.
Well,
Christmas.
let's zoom in.
Zoom in on him when he said it.
Right?
Christmas. last Christmas. Before I got sick, I had committed to Giras y Desveladas. God, I forgot her name. Oh, she's gonna kick my ass. But I committed to singing "Mary Did You Know" live on Facebook for a show. Gigi Guerrero.
Oh, okay.
Gigi Guerrero is the daughter of Mr. Guerrero, the one that wrote all those famous songs. So that's one. The next day, that was a Sunday. On Monday, I was supposed to do the Tiger Mays special Christmas show and sing that same song. So I got sick, dude. I couldn't sing to save my life. I was coughing up a lung. I was on meds. I was on everything. Here I thought, my wife, I'm excused. I came, I was Sunday. I went upstairs and I was in bed. I was sweating and everything. I'm like, what? She goes, you got to get up. I go, I'm not getting up. She goes, you got to sing. I'm not singing.
Malito, you got to get your ass up, boy.
Literally.
He's dedicated.
If you don't get up, I am, oh, man. Blankety blank, boom, boom, blank, 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 boom, boom. And I got in the shower and blank, 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 blank. I was mad. I was mad, dude. Sunday night, here comes the show. And I'm in a suit. I'm all looking like I'm not sick. I've got these damn things on hiding my eyes. And I'm just like, I'm done. Took everything off, got in bed, fucking go to sleep. Language.
So
No, you're fine.
we did experience something with Elias.
Elias, yeah.
Because we did do a little show at the casino. And we were recording, and he was trying to talk to me. He's like, bro, what's with your voice? He had a cold. He wasn't feeling good. It was just, I thought, you know what I mean? It was just, I said, dude, take a shot of Hennessy or, the Crown Royal, the cargo with it.
Something.
So he went to do, but you know what? I'm so proud of him because he went to a whole show. I seen it, bro, and he sang the whole thing. Afterwards, he was dying, bro. He was holding his throat.
That's the same thing over there in, I think it was one of the last shows with Charisma Band. We were doing a dance, a gala. It was a gala. And same there, too. So the next day was a Tiger May show, and same thing. I'm trying to hide. from
You should have hid under the
You're in the
bed.
closet or something.
Dude, it was bad. I got up again. I blankety blank, 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 blank in the shower. Get in the shower. Gargoyle and do all that stuff. So
Jay Bettis wouldn't do this. You're not Jay. But no, actually, Jay did do that because when we brought him up here to Lansing, he got off the plane and it was just seconds. He's no better. Like 2 seconds off the plane, bro.
yeah. No, but Jay's very, very,
Very protective of his voice.
observant, very protective of his
So
voice.
wear a mask.
It's his, yeah.
He's very protective of the voice.
If I was a singer,
2 seconds off the plane, he's like,
Not me. I'm more so like, well, excuse me. Remember that song? Start singing, damn it.
man, that's an old
man.
song.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I'm gonna get drunk. Excuse me. Yeah, dude, that's old, bro.
Yeah, that's I grew up with nothing but Randy Travis, Dwight Yoakam, guitars and Cadillacs, hillbilly music.
Was it you who was saying hello, darling?
Hello,
Conway?
darling. No,
No, Conway Twitty.
You should sing that one.
Hello, darling.
Try that one. If you want to do country music.
yeah, I do. country
A
music.
long time.
Oh yeah.
Since you left me. Yeah.
I like digging up bones. I'm digging up bones. Randy Travis.
Randy Travis. Yep.
I wanna love you forever.
Andrea says, hello, George Salazar.
Andreas?
Andrea.
She's amazing. She's awesome.
Andrea. Yeah, she's
Yeah, Randy Travis. Yeah, you brought me back to my childhood.
Hell yeah.
Dude,
Randy
man,
Travis is awesome.
I grew up on country.
I love George Strait though. He's my boy. GS. That's got both
Strait.
of my initials.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You look so good in love.
Yep.
Remember that one?
Yep. That was a good song.
Property in Arizona.
Or R&B.
Yep.
Go to R&B. That's another one that I want to do.
Shy.
Do some R&B.
Jagged
Edge.
Jodeci.
Jodeci.
Oh yeah.
Silk.
Come and
Silk.
talk to me. I really want to meet you, girl. I really. Never mind. That was or
And that was a
Sweat.
preview.
Keith Sweat or
Keith Sweat.
Guy. The Gap
Sweat.
Band.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Jam.
Cameo.
Oh, actually, I was seeing Cameo earlier.
Were you?
High Five?
High Five. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
High
remember.
Five.
Or how about
Yeah.
Color Me Bad?
Color Me
After 7.
Something about them.
Oh, Jesus.
I paid my
Oh,
daughters
man.
to sing a song and learn a song from After 7.
New shoes.
Oh.
New shoes.
Oh, okay. Loose ends. You want to go there?
We call
Oh yeah, New
Okay.
Shoes. Yeah, I know who that is.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what. Okay, here in the studio.
That was one of
it's
the
just
songs
me,
you were
me and the
playing
producer here. We're going back and forth because I got jams. He's jamming out. There's
Jam. Oh, jam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony Tone Tone.
Yep.
Those are
Tony,
songs.
Tony.
The only songs that we really won't play here is the Kid and Play
Is who?
because more rap and more hip hop. You know what I
Is it
mean?
Kid and Play?
Yeah.
I would lean more for Tupac.
Tupac.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
like
played a lot.
Tupac. Tupac
He
was
plays a lot of Tupac.
or Big Daddy or what was his
Or
name?
what they saw?
Big
Tupac.
No,
Big-
Biggie Smalls.
Biggie
There you
Smalls. Yeah.
Oh
Oh yeah.
Big Daddy. Actually, Big Daddy Tejano.
No means no.
No, didn't hear.
No did
Oh,
here.
did he hear?
Oh, that poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor Justin Bieber, and there's so much shit going on with him.
Dude.
Justin
Dude.
Bieber's a damn good singer, though. I can't
They
believe all the
destroyed
shit.
him.
Yeah, they
destroyed
did.
his character. They
That poor
destroyed everything.
kid.
And that kid, all he wanted to do was have a Lamborghini. That was it. But his mom sold him off to Diddy.
That's sad. Nas. Or the Goats.
Leonard Skinner. Leonard Skinner.
Oh yeah, there's another one. Leonard Skinner. Of course, my favorite is.
Gabriel said Tupac
Oh,
and Nas.
That's
on
mine
the
too.
Goats.
You like
I
that?
remember. Oh yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
grew up with that. And Metallica.
Metallica.
Gary.
Oh.
He
Iron
is
Maiden.
a-
Are you
Oh,
kidding?
yeah.
Iron Maiden.
Now we're talking.
Dude, I was all
Iron
into
Maiden.
Iron
Oh.
Maiden, Metallica,
We had Ozzy watching the show
Yes.
last week.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah,
It was his actual. It was his actual page. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Gabriel said Tupac and Nas are the Goats.
Bark at the Moon.
Yes. Bark at the Moon. Yep. There you go.
He's not doing too good medically,
No, he's
but
actually-
you know what?
he's
He's
no
up there in
longer
age.
He's no longer walking. He's in a wheelchair.
That's sad.
He's up there in
He's
age.
weakening as the weeks go by.
You know, it's sad to look at it like that, but
Well,
Yeah, they
you
said
got to remember, what we do now projects what happens in the future.
true.
Just like with all the drogas and the drinking I did back in the day, now it affects my knees, my
Yeah.
liver, my stomach, which
Everything.
is why I got so many pills I take. Because I messed up my body because,
Right.
you know, all the
Because
abuse.
you were having fun. You didn't think of
Because they were bands. What
Yeah.
band members do.
Yeah. That.
And
Yeah.
then I find
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Right.
I'm glad I'm off camera.
Again, I'm on 24 hours.
Right.
Exactly. That's what.
He's trying to sing like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Mhm.
no, you're not.
There was one band member that was in the band that used to do that, and you could tell when he did it because
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
don't say a word.
Stop it.
But anyways,
But anyways, so how you doing?
I am doing it. I'm not on anything.
The T.
Uh,
Damn
but
it.
yeah.
that's to the
Oh
T.
yeah.
We're gonna go for another 2 to 5 minutes, and then we'll call it a night.
Yeah.
Only because for one, I got to edit this video. 2, anyway.
He's got
No, that's fine.
I got to go potty.
Thank you everybody for tuning in, chiming
Yeah,
in,
for sure.
and for being a part.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Oh,
George.
you know, originally George only said he wanted to do 30 minutes.
I know.
30
2
minutes
hours
before
He
later.
said, no, just give me 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We'll call it a night.
We'll call
Yeah.
it a
I'm not
night.
feeling too good.
Yeah.
Mira,
No, but it's all
started going
good.
at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, no, we're
And
good.
it was fun.
It
It
was
was
actually
actually
fun.
fun. It was fun.
And your wife is having fun. She ain't stopped yet.
Have
No,
a good
she
night.
hasn't. She didn't even come in.
Have a good night.
I opened the door as he coming in. She's walked away. Oh, okay.
She wants to have fun. That's fine.
Better.
Gisela says, you all have a blessed night and drive
Cousin
safe.
Gisela.
Oh, thank you,
Francis. Falcon.
Francis Falcon. Francis.
Or Ariota now.
If I see her picture, I'll know who it is. Names I'm really bad.
And then Aaliyah says, I'll see y'all later. Be easy. I would have 2 cases of cheese down here. Oh, he would have. Oh, yeah. He would already.
Cool,
Yeah.
man. When we had Elias here a couple weeks
Have a
ago,
good night, Gabriel. Yeah.
we started out in my office here. By the time the show was finished, we were all finished.
But yeah. But no, I mean, I again, appreciate
Good night. God
you being
bless
here.
everybody. Thanks for joining in.
You know, the best part of this interview
Thanks,
is that
Javier.
you're here and that we are able to talk to you.
Thank you.
You know,
You know,
appreciate it.
all
we
the
thank
blessings-
God that you are
Exactly.
able to come out of what happened. So,
Man,
we thank
it's,
God for that.
You know,
once
see,
again, it's
that's
scary.
the thing is God touches us in certain ways,
Mm-hmm.
and we know, even though we give praise, it just seems like we don't give enough. And when we get into that position where we're actually laying in that bed, where it's just, are you a donor?
But
Huh? Do you want to resuscitate? Huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
That those questions don't hit until you're actually on that bed.
Yep.
Because they asked me the same thing.
we got Javi, Xavier, and Andrea all saying good night. Have a good night.
Yeah. Prayers
You
still
all have a
have
good night as well.
Prayers still continue for my
Hey,
you
prayers
know,
all
coming
over,
out
man.
of our series.
Prayers all over the
Serious.
place. Prayers to everybody that's needing it
Yeah,
right now.
because we still got to listen to a couple songs, and
Oh, yeah.
we got to
Gotcha.
edit the video.
Yep.
George, buddy,
Yes,
Man.
for sure.
brother,
Thank you for having me. I
you,
appreciate it.
you,
Sure,
Long overdue.
definitely.
allowed us to live the history of
Carisma,
Carisma.
man.
Charisma.
What I've got going
George
on.
Salazar.
Sierra, yeah, and the Aldacos.
Dalcos.
So we touch
Man,
everybody,
we touch
you know. I
everybody.
don't want to, and the Ilusión, Tom Salazar,
Oh,
and the brother.
Alición, man, they
Ilusión,
down,
yeah.
bro.
You know, another band that does is Aztecas. Sorry, I know we gotta go.
Oh, no, you're good.
Have a great night.
We'll be here.
We'll be
you're
here
fine.
on.
Javier says, still breathing, is he?
Yeah.
Prayer to
Amen.
you, Javier.
Amen.
That's great.
Amen.
Yep. All
Well,
right.
yeah, man. Thank you for joining, man.
Yes.
It was
I mean,
it was a shot in the dark, you know what I mean, to get you here. And I was just like, I don't want to, if you're sick, I don't want you here, and get that chance, and you're like, okay, let's go. I was like, oh, like, wait, okay.
Well, I want to show everybody that, you know what, I'm a fighter, man. I'm not gonna let something hit me.
Well, that's the song, but that song that I played for that promo that I posted, it was just like, even though life knocks you down, hit it right back.
Let me tell you, that same day that I got out on the 10th, I went straight, staggering, however I went right into the aquatic center and got a membership. Walked right out the next day. I was raking the front yard.
Oh, you're trying to get help.
I was trying to hurry up and get that. And then they tell me, are you crazy? You're supposed to get rest.
Yeah, you could have had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was like thinking that's the opposite. I was thinking, they want me to hurry up and do
Right.
stuff.
No.
And then I told my doctor in the follow-up,
your heart was
It's got to
still stressed
repair
out.
itself.
Your heart was still stressed out. So you
Mhm.
had to rest, then work your way up.
and
They
then
want to-
I know.
He's mowing the grass.
Who wants me to?
He's over here mowing the grass and whatever else.
Anybody got there's the sidewalk shovel? I do
Yeah.
it right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that was
anyways,
good.
have a
That's
great
fun.
night, guys. Thank you so much. God bless you and everyone that tuned in.
Thank
I appreciate everything.
Yes.
And the prayers.
Mm-hmm.
I fought my wife tooth and nail, telling her not to do the video, and she still did it. And thank you for my wife. Thanks to my wife,
Thanks for all the support.
had all the prayers,
Mhm.
all
Sure.
the prayers, and that's all you can do for those that are in need.
And
More so the prayers. That's it.
And that picture that's behind you, that's where we want to see you the next time.
I see that very soon.
Playing your music and doing what you enjoy.
That's
Again,
a
we
damn good
appreciate it.
picture. Damn
Thank you.
it.
If you cut your hair, you probably didn't even
Yeah.
age much.
Actually, turn your head a little bit.
The other way.
How's the picture?
Right there. Look at
A
that.
little bit more. No, just kidding. You pretty much got the same. Well, except for the
It's the hair. I told you, if you cut his
It's the
hair,
hair.
it'd be the same way.
Yep.
It didn't age very much.
I would have worn it like that, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Puff it up. Puff it up. Damn it. Anyways, good night,
All right,
guys.
everybody have a good night.
God
We will
bless
see
everybody. Be
you,
safe out there.
actually, we'll see you next week.
Oh, yeah, we're
Tuesday.
not going to be on tomorrow. We're going to be setting up for
Yeah,
Saturday.
we're not going to be on tomorrow or Monday. Monday I have an appointment, so I'll be out. And anyway, so we'll be back Tuesday night. Don't forget to come to the VFW Saturday. We're going to be there from 1 to
Linda Palooza
midnight.
starts from 1
Linda
p.m.
Palooza.
to 12 midnight.
So yeah, come check it out, hang out, and show your support for the Linda Pena Likely family, and come help out. So, all right. Well, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you, George, for being on. Thank you, appreciate it. And let's everybody that needs the prayers, send it to them
Show some love.
and everything. So,
God bless.
everybody have a good night. God bless. We love you all, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Peace.